What if you got in an auto accident? That would be a bad bit. Frankel and Frankel personal injury lawyers know that. They're chosen by the people, feared by the insurance companies. That's one of the reasons it's a bad bit. I mean, being in an accident, of course, not so good. But the insurance companies, dealing with them, calling, begging, trying to tell them, well, Frankel will fight for you. Frankel and Frankel, they're based in Dallas, so call them immediately if you do get in a wreck. 214 or 817, then all threes, 333-3333. The partners at Frankel and Frankel have over 100 years of combined experience, which means they know how to craft a case to drive maximum outcomes for you. In fact, at Frankel and Frankel, their attorneys used to defend the insurance companies. They can use that extensive experience to advocate on your behalf. Kind of like Bill Belichick. Used to be a defensive genius, or known as that, and then became an offensive guru because he knew what the defenses were not ready for. That is what Frankel and Frankel is all about. So like I said, call immediately if you do get in a wreck. Insurance companies trying to take advantage of you, Frankel and Frankel will fight for your rights. 214 or 817-333-3333.
All right, what's up, DFs? Week 5 of this Dumb Zone weekly wrap-up headed your way. My name is Blake Jones. I'll be your host for this thing. Dan McDowell and Jake Kemp are your heroes to round out the Dumb Zone. One quick announcement before we get into this thing. Come out and see us Monday, July 29th. We'll be at Zoli's Pizza in Addison. And I'd like to get enough people there to guilt Jake into taking down 3 pizzas during the show. Again, Zoli's Pizza in Addison, noon to 3-ish on Monday. Would love to see you out there. Okay, you know the drill by now. This will flow like a normal show, so let's rewind to Monday, July 22nd, and get a weekend check.
Yeah, they did it to him. They ousted the sleepy man.
Yeah, are you surprised, political science guy? By the way, I'm Dan McDowell.
I'm Jake
I'm
Kemp.
Blake Jones.
He's adding the last name now to us. Keep us on our toesies. Yeah, I mean, my level of political acumen is quite low these days, but it's not unprecedented, but it's pretty close. And the fact is that while people knew that he was declining, and you hear the murmurs and the whispers, and it's somewhat obvious when you watched him, the fact you can all trace it back to that night.
The debate?
Yeah. The night that we were all watching and immediately blowing each other's phones up, like, what the...
So doesn't he have, like, advisors? And when he's putting out, like, the tweet of, I want to meet Donald Trump, like, did they think Trump was not going to accept their rules for the debate or whatever? Like, in retrospect...
Like they poison-pilled it and then it bit him in the ass?
Yeah, in retrospect, it was... Like, why were you so confident? Like, I want to debate him anywhere, anytime, pal. Like, he's a tough Twitter talk or whatever.
Yeah.
It's,
Well, you know where I come from. I take care of a bully. I mean, there's so many different... It's so hard to keep up with the lack of precedent over the last couple weeks of things that have happened. Because every time there's a huge event, there's 10 different theories about why it's happening. One of them being that his staffers knew damn well what was going to happen, and knew that it was the only way to get the wheels turning on getting him out of there. Mm. But also, they could have just like put him at a rally or something. The whole thing is weird. And no, I mean, I've been telling TC when we talk about this stuff extensively, I'm like, dude, it's not going to happen, because he's been saying all along it has to happen.
What's not going to happen?
Taking him off the ticket. It just seemed like it was fait accompli, and we're just going to have to accept the fact that he was going to get pummeled everywhere. And then the backroom deals of Nancy Pelosi, who Jason Whitlock, for a second breast reference of the day, once commented on her late career upgrade. But she got to work. And the New York Times yesterday, I think it was the Times, had a quote from an anonymous staffer that said that night she told them, I'm going to give you 3 weeks.
To get your act together?
To get him out.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought you meant to get out there, do some interviews, show that you're actually...
That wasn't going to happen.
Because even him doing the interviews did not inspire any confidence.
He tried to go on like urban radio a couple times and just botched the hell out of that. I saw some people after the debate saying he should go on Hot Ones. I'm like, he will die if you put this man...
What's hot? Oh, eating
the YouTube series where you have to eat the hottest chicken wings on earth. I'm like, that's literally... He'll die.
That's why they wanted him there.
Bad advice.
So, yeah, she got to work, and the YouTube quote was, or the Times quote was like something to the effect of, she said they'd give him 3 weeks. And at the end of the 3 weeks, or maybe she said, you got 3 weeks to do this the easy way. And 3 weeks was winding up, and she told them, because next week we're going to do it the hard way.
So it's Pelosi.
It's all Pelosi.
Running things.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it, because I don't know anything about this stuff, but I'm reading... What seemed logical was once the donors started.
Yeah, but a big part of the reason the donors start or stop doing what they're doing is because of what she tells them. Because she is very good at making money for people, including herself. Magically, as Bruenig will point out, one of the greatest stock trading records of the last 20 years, along with her husband.
So that law will never get changed. Where that congressmen
seems like the most basic thing we should prohibit.
Such insider trading, yeah.
Like she would literally go to China and in the course of a week or so purchase a bunch of stock for something, and then news comes out that she had negotiated some sort of
deal for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyways.
What are you going to do?
I guess talk sports. Talk about Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
It is wild, man.
I couldn't believe it. I
thought it was fake. Is that how you think of everything when you first see something on Twitter? I don't know if you learned it on Twitter.
I didn't learn it on Twitter.
Okay.
That was the thing.
Some of his staffers learned it on Twitter.
Yeah, so I went to Twitter within 10 seconds of it showing up on television, but I was watching the end of the Open, the fifth major, the old Winter Classic.
The claret jug?
Yeah. And seeing Schauffele get his, the jug and the speech and everything, and it seemed like...
You're wiping your tears away.
Almost immediately.
I never thought he'd win 2 majors in a year.
No.
Let alone 1.
No. I was actually... Saturday I was at my parents' house, and I had it on in the background, and it was very hard to explain to my mom that Xander Schauffele is not Scotty Scheffler. It is a rather confusing occurrence. These guys are both at their peak at the same time. Yeah. So anyways, the NBC cut to the news desk right away. And, I saw the headline, and I immediately went to the phone, and somehow it was being reported first to me by Shams.
Okay.
Which left...
He does that kind of thing.
He does. That brought about a lot of jokes, a lot of quote tweets that were like, does this keep us under the second apron? But yeah, it's wild. So you learned on Twitter? I almost called you.
To let me know?
Yeah, because I know you're not as addicted to phone guys as I am, unfortunately, for me.
Yeah.
I did call my mom, though, because she hates Trump. Not that she's like a Democrat or anything, but she'd been wanting to get Biden out of the mix for a long time, and I knew it might take a day before the Pony Express got to her house with a letter to deliver the news.
So I'm not a politics guy at all, but I'm seeing Hillary rumors. That can't be true. And if it is, then we have to live stream the debates.
You can't live stream the debates because you have to hear Trump body bagging her.
See, I get all my speeches and news from Twitter.
Same, yeah.
So I only know pre-assembled sound bites, and obviously Biden was terrible at the debate, but in all the stuff I've seen about Kamala, that doesn't look great either.
It's anybody else.
It's anybody, because when we watched the debate, didn't we say, if you just had somebody that could talk, it seemed like there was some real easy, like you could have reacted to what Trump was saying with a pretty easy, hey, that's blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
right?
and a big part of it is because, as we said then, and I understand people are going to disagree with me saying this, but there is polling data to support it. Maybe it's less so in Texas, but most of the mainstream Democratic platform is extremely popular across the country. Like reducing drug costs, things like, making sure Social Security exists, expansion of healthcare, even pot, which is not part of their mainstream platform, but abortion. The Democrats' position on that is way more popular than the idea of completely federally banning abortion. These things just poll very, very well. Rent control, they poll well. You just can't have him up there trying to explain it. So, yeah, her record is not one that I'm a big fan of. And I know there are people on the left, that are going to do the we won't vote for her. She's a cop. She put a lot of people in prison for pot in California. Mm-hmm. And a lot of those people are still in there. Ironically, unable to vote for her or against her if they wanted to, as they are felons.
But you got the easy attack on her, I think, is that it's one of the culture war catchphrases that one of the parties uses all the time is DEI. Hate DEI. There's a DEI hire for you right there. Because didn't Biden say he is going to appoint a woman vice president?
He shouldn't have said that.
Yes, it was before he ever picked a vice president.
That was a bad idea.
Again, he doesn't know how to talk. He should have just said, yes, I am going to scour the earth and find the best candidate for vice president. And then even if you land on her, you could just say, well, I got an argument.
And they may still say what they're going to say, but at least you didn't tee them up for it.
Yes. So that's going to be an easy. Yeah, she's.
But a lot of people just aren't going to care. Most people still don't like Trump. He doesn't. His approval ratings are not high. They just aren't. So it's almost it's the no anybody else argument.
So is it definitely her?
No, but pretty much.
But Biden said
they have to put on a show.
Mm-hmm.
That's
when's the Democrat convention?
It's mid-August.
Okay.
And I think Obama didn't immediately endorse her.
Ah.
Because he's always kind of trying to keep this air of like, hey, do it above board. The other thing I saw people point out that is funny about the DEI thing is I doubt they're going to say that when they pick the whitest fucking guy you've ever seen in your life to be vice president.
Yeah, can they have J.D. Vance?
Is that a DEI hire? Because you're like, we got to get the straightest, most Christian,
right, something to not
offensive white guy.
Because that's
got to be on the ticket.
What's his name? Buttigieg. He speaks so well. He seems to have some great ideas, but he'll never be one of the candidates in our lifetime.
It's tough to see. It's tough to see.
Gay.
He is gay.
Yeah.
He even tried to go to the military and stuff.
What year will that be? America's first gay president. You'll be long dead.
Here's a better question. Is it more likely that it's a sturdy lesbian?
Absolutely.
Or somewhat effeminate. I wouldn't even call Buttigieg effeminate, but he's he's not Fetterman. Like, is it more likely that it's a guy that looks like that, or a woman who looks like Liz Cheney or something, but is a lesbian? 65-year-old powerhouse.
Yes, because people will equate that with her kind of being a man.
Right.
And so we can buy that.
Right.
Or will it be... Yeah, okay. That's the gay question. I was thinking the female question would be, do you have to be married to... But obviously Kamala. Yeah, I don't know.
That was a funny one yesterday, too, when the right started freaking out about, hey, big red flag here, she doesn't have children. Of course, immediately, the first president that you point out that didn't have children was the first president.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
I don't think I did either. But it's funny that
he was too busy kicking England's ass.
That's right. and
just a wild, such
trees.
a wild. Was it just last week? Trump had got shot right before that.
Yeah.
And the week before was the debate.
Close.
There's a couple weeks in between, but yeah, we've
few weeks here.
Insane.
That we're just moved on to this, moved on to this, moved on to this.
That's what we have to do now, and it breaks my brain. I have a hard time with all this.
It's kind of awesome.
It is kind of awesome.
And then you got training camps opening.
Jeez.
Oh, I did like
the NHL draft at the Sphere.
The sports. I saw a funny sports thing regarding. I think it's regarding Biden. It didn't say it was regarding Biden, but it says so he's not returning next season, but they're going to let him coach the bowl game.
I like that. Is there something weird going on with me, Blake?
No.
Okay. The other funny sports thing was just I saw a lot of people, especially over the last couple weeks, but it really obviously landed home yesterday, was, boy, a lot of people in politics are about to find out what it's like to be a sports fan. Like, when your coach is getting fired. It takes a couple weeks, but
some votes of confidence.
Yeah, once the ball starts rolling in the direction it was, you're not coming back next season. We've all seen this movie. Unless you're Jason Garrett. And then usually you do come back next season.
Yeah. No, it's crazy, man. Really crazy.
And here's the other thing. We'll have some audio from this later. I was all fired up over the weekend to come in here and play you guys audio from the Republican National Convention on Thursday night because we didn't have a show on Friday.
That's right. So now that's another thing in the past 3 weeks.
And I'm just going to tell you now.
Yeah.
So while you're watching that, and I'll play the mostly or all Hulk Hogan audio later because it's insane. As you're watching the convention, did you see the people that are doing the support with a bandage on their ear of Trump?
I saw some pictures on Twitter, and it looked silly.
Okay.
A lot of theories about that whole injury, too.
We've just moved on from that already?
Possibly glass, possibly
teleprompter.
Possibly grazed by the bullet, but the bandage wasn't worn the day before golfing. And
the doctor came out and said he didn't even need stitches.
Yeah.
So
my Twitter algorithm says there was a second shooter.
Oh my gosh, second shooter?
Yeah.
And it was the sniper on the water tower that took him down. I can't handle it.
Why didn't the Secret Service react quicker?
I can't handle it.
So, you see all these people, these political dorks that they would go to a convention and have their little signs and, hey, I'm a delegation of, and a lot of them had a bandage over their ear. So I'm at our favorite car wash spot on Saturday. It's one thing I got done this weekend.
You feel squared away?
Dude, the kid scene, I mean, the amount of crushed up goldfish, Doritos, Cheerios, toys, it's the greatest feeling.
Yeah.
It's better than an actual shower. So I'm in line there at Mustang Car Wash. Now, again, this is in Grapevine, so I'm not that shocked. But I look over at the guy who pulls up next to me in the car, and he's got an ear bandage on in his car.
But that's not covering his ear.
Not at all.
Oh, it's just so people were see. That's something I didn't see, like the Trayvon Martin hood or whatever.
Yeah.
And people doing that online, that would have been funny. Or the Luka thing for the playoff run.
Oh, yeah.
The avatar. That would have been a funny thing.
I fell for that one.
If people would have started doing it.
So I was trying to give the guy the benefit of the doubt, but when I went in to pay, I waited for him to sit down, and I just kind of took a little stroll to the bathroom that I didn't need. There was no injury there. No.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Go News.
So on today's program, we do have sports. It says here WNBA.
Uh-huh.
And you'll never guess who called for that ball.
The woke one.
I think we have a little golf. And you've already teased wrestling because Hulk Hogan is somehow on the show. I have a little Bronny stuff for you.
Great.
If we have time for Hard Knocks, I don't know if we will.
We got more shows.
We do have more shows this week. In fact, we should promote what's coming up this week. On Friday, we will have a special show in the den where we had just mentioned it, but then somebody stepped forward and said, "Hey, I got a new microwave for my kitchen, but I have this old microwave that still works, and you guys can beat it up or do whatever you want with it. So we're going to experiment with a microwave on Friday,
and hope that we still have a den on Saturday."
In fact, we just had a Monday morning meeting where we discussed things we could put in the microwave.
That's what we do in the meeting.
If you have an idea, we tried, and Bodie does not fit, so we cannot put my toy poodle.
Carter's way too big.
Yeah. And then tomorrow you'll be gone. You have a scheduled day off. Actually, today is your scheduled day off too. But
yeah, we ended up not going out of town because I was telling you guys the hurricane smashed not only the house my parents stay in, but the house we were going to stay in Louisiana. So
damn.
I mean, they're not inoperable, not salvageable, but they can't stay there. But so I figured, all right, I'll just do the show on Monday when I was supposed to be off, and Tuesday actually go to doctor's appointments that I've needed to go to basically since we left the station.
And then on Thursday, we have our 1-year anniversary.
Wow.
Thursday, the 26th?
25th.
The 25th. So the 25th, last July 25th, was our first ever program.
The 24th, but business Wednesday and all.
Okay.
I mean, I guess we could put it out no, I need more time. I need Thursday.
Okay.
But yeah, Thursday is the 1-year celebration. Going to take a listen to a little bit of the first episode, some highlights from the year. And yeah, it'll be a birthday celebration for the Dumb Zone.
You didn't mention who's going to be here in my steed tomorrow. Both Danny Bayless and Lawrence.
That's how hard it is to fill Jake's shoes.
Gotta have 2 people.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes.
Be a fun week.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Let's check in on Friday and see if it was.
Write that down. I want to hold him to that.
Weekend check.
I'll go.
Brought to you by Prosper Ford. That is, of course, in Prosper, right up the tollway. The great Chaz Gilmore. He owns Prosper Ford. I've been driving a Ford vehicle for over a decade now from Grapevine Ford. And Chaz finally got to build his own dealership from the ground up. And he has made the perfect dealership. Head on over to Prosper Ford. You can check them out online, prosperford.com. See their huge inventory of new and pre-owned vehicles. No hassle financing, competitive specials, fast trade-in value. Whether you're in the market for a new Ford model or the best car service near Plano, Frisco, the Colony, Little Elm, or McKinney, go visit Prosper Ford and online at prosperford.com.
I have purchased a vehicle from Chaz before at Grapevine, and if Prosper Ford is anything like Grapevine Ford, which we know it is, they're going to take care of you. I'll never buy a car from anyone else. How about that?
Okay.
Great service departments at these places, too.
Well, I got to one-up you. I've bought 3 vehicles from Chaz Gilmore.
Give me time.
How about that?
And I'm thinking about buying my first because they got the new Mach-E's, the electric vehicle SUV that looks like a Mustang.
Whoa.
So I may go check it out.
All right, so prosperford.com or up the tollway at Prosper
Looks
Ford.
pretty slick, doesn't it?
Pretty slick.
So my weekend, like we'd mentioned last week, I'm now full Brooks duty on the weekends because wife is gone all weekend, Saturday and Sunday. And after his very masculine gymnastics class on Saturday morning, where they learned to like fist fight and push and shove and stuff, definitely not
Tumble?
balance beam.
Balance beam is the most important thing you could be doing at that age.
No,
Can you do the rings?
No, not
Oh.
yet. Not yet. His school was putting on like a kind of book fair kind of thing, and their special draw was they had Clifford the Big Red Dog there. And I had not exposed Brooks to Clifford yet, and so last week I just started putting it on the TV, trying to get him ready for Saturday because I needed him to be excited because I wanted to stay there for a long time. Was that big with your daughters, Clifford?
It was known. I don't know that it was big.
No, I don't.
Yes, if they had seen Clifford out in the wild, that would have been a cool bit.
Okay.
Yeah, we've seen it.
All right. But it's not, I mean, it's not the Cocoa Melons or anything of the world.
It ain't Bluey.
And it's definitely not Bluey. But it was cool because when the first time I showed it to him, he's like, no. Because the animation is from the 90s or whatever. It's an older show. Then he began seeing like, okay, he saw the comedy in that the dog is way too big.
It's kind of the premise.
Yeah. So in the open, when Clifford has outgrown the house, he's got his head out one window and his tail out the other. He laughs. Clifford taking up the whole boat. He laughs. So he began to warm up to it. And on Saturday, he was effing stoked to see Clifford.
Okay.
Nice.
And so that was cool,
Mission
seeing
accomplished.
the progression of this sucks. Okay, not bad to, oh my gosh, it's Clifford. And so that was cool. I got a text from my wife on Saturday, and I know we're idiots, but she said that she had just put a leech on one of her patients. And I thought for sure we were not doing that anymore.
No, I've heard fairly recently.
For what?
Blood.
Like you, I thought there's no way we're still doing this.
1883.
Right? Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they probably started doing that 1,000 years ago, right?
So without
But I thought the last
time,
instance,
yeah, okay.
without getting too detailed, if you need to encourage circulation into areas, for instance, fingers, you put a leech on them. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure every hospital has a fresh batch.
And
Really?
they get them per shift. So she sent me a video of the night shift leeches, and they're just in this jar.
Where do they stay regularly?
They stay in the jar,
You could just live in a jar?
I guess.
I don't know. I was
Dirt? Like where? Yeah, where do you get a leech?
Where
Would you go get a leech?
I
Right
was
now,
very
you got to
thrown
go
off.
find one out in the wild.
I don't know.
By the lake?
The swamp?
The swamp, I would think, would be, I don't know where you're going to find it, like a river bottoms type situation. But no, I mean, I don't know where they get them. They're certainly not out there with a net. But yeah, like, for example, I know that there are places, and this is a little bit different, but when I tried to pull my high school prank, I was able to buy several thousand crickets from like a hobby and pet store because people would feed them to their whatever, snakes.
Snake,
Yeah. Leech is a little bit different, but certainly there's labs somewhere that just grow them. They mate them.
But yeah, that stuck
I wonder
with
if you
me.
have an option to decline it. Like if you're the patient, then they'd probably be like, yeah, well, your finger's going to fall off. I wouldn't be able to look at it, that's for sure.
Yeah, I can't imagine like what the feeling is. Is it
Slimy?
No, but just like on your finger, is it like, do you feel it pulling on you or?
Probably.
Yeah. Anyway.
But it probably hurts less than a needle, though.
Okay, I don't know.
But
I don't think I want to know.
No.
But then I kind of thought hats off to the 1800s doctors, like they were onto something.
Yeah, very few things have
Survived
that field.
Yeah, but they did. And then I went to a wedding on Saturday night.
Boy, you go to a lot of weddings.
Yeah, I guess that's
He's wedding age.
I
my
know.
second one this year. But I'm slowly aging out,
Yeah, you are.
and they used to be a lot more fun.
Yours was fun. Remember, Dan?
Thank you.
I do not, because I did not attend Blake's wedding, and
You didn't mean that.
no one will ever let me live that down.
What do you mean?
I don't know. Now it's like you've seen how many, what is it, ceremonies, receptions? I forget which one's which. And they're all the same. They're all lame. Look how great love is. And you're thinking.
You're just older.
Now you're thinking like, I give
If
it.
this was your first one, you would have
10
been like,
years.
this is cool.
Yeah.
And I'm drunk.
Sure. That's a part of it. My big gripe of the night was ceremony was over 6:30, but they didn't serve food until 8:45
Unacceptable.
because you got to wait for the pictures. You got to wait for the wedding party to do all their stuff. They got to get situated, and that was horrible.
Got to be 8 at the latest, or in our case, I believe we started some light fare, like right away.
Yeah, they had their tiny little...
The soup.
They had chips and hot
soup
sauce.
that I loved.
The soup, maybe, but maybe a little crostini with a little shrimp on it.
There you go.
Something a little more than just chips and hot sauce.
You'll remember, Jake,
845 is still out of bounds.
at my wedding, we served food immediately because I was not going to have people wait for me to eat. You would have loved it. And I tell you, it was one of my family members, so it was a bunch of family, that I don't see very often, and it's always kind of like you kind of keep your distance at first. Hey, good to see you, whatever. But it's just you keep your distance until you have something to gripe about. And I think the best thing for family bonding is griping about the same thing. Because at 7:30, Grandpa hadn't eaten yet. Come on, where's the food? And then it trickles down. My dad's upset. How can they not serve until 8 o'clock? My mom's pissed. Everyone's pissed, but we're all pissed together.
And hungry, yeah.
Yeah, and
I like
so
it.
It creates that bond. My parents are slowly becoming really addicted to their phone, and they love to play games on their phone.
Oh, my gosh.
Do you know what your parents are playing?
I know my mom does Words with Friends because I play her. She's
Okay.
one of the two people I actually play. And I get concerned if she hasn't done a move in 2 days.
Yeah. No, I don't know what my mom plays, but I know that I believe she's phone game person, at least at night, maybe. Maybe I'm wrong.
So my mom will do the Candy Crush or Bejeweled. Is that one of them? She's one of those. But my dad, I was looking over at him. He was just sitting playing a game on his phone. And he'll normally play like golf games or whatever that are pretty dumb. But he was playing a game where the objective is to shoot the other person with a bow and arrow.
That rules.
And it's a live game, and you just you set your target and your angle and your power, and you just try to shoot the other person with an arrow.
It's interesting they're playing that in public.
But they had to wait for the food.
They don't care. And that's just, when they get bored, they'll just fire up that game wherever they are. And I just thought that was...
I was in line at Central Market this weekend, and I had to tell myself, don't pull out your phone and look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that was the first thing. I had 30 whole seconds I had to stand somewhere without doing something, and I started to reach in my pocket to pull out the phone just to kind of... Why? Why do I need to look at it right there? I'll be home in 10 minutes. If I really need to look at my phone, then... And I lost the battle with my head. I pulled it out, and I kind of... Okay.
Yeah.
What's going on?
But even...
It's
Nothing.
So depressing.
But
Nothing's going on. Since I was in the car 15 minutes ago, it's the...
Yeah.
And that, for me, I can't leave it in the car because I have my list on there. I like the list that you can tap.
Yes.
And it, the to-do list, and even if I want to listen to something in the store. So it's a lost cause.
But even when I first got my phone or iTouch, I was very aware of playing games in front of others because I didn't want to be judged for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you, 6?
I won't play my games on the plane.
Yeah. I don't like people looking at what I'm doing. But
Yeah,
he was just sitting, posting up, shooting people with bows and arrows at this wedding. And I kind of loved it. And then last thing, the phones are great for note taking and all that kind of stuff. But if you're giving a best man speech or something, I feel like it's almost sort of disrespectful to do it off your phone. Like, shouldn't you memorize that? Like, it's an honor to do that.
Boy,
And
I don't
this
even
guy
remember what I went with.
just nose down in the phone, just reading, no inflection, no emotion. He just wrote it and read it. And I
You've
thought,
been a best man? Because I've never been a best man.
I was once, and I thought, oh, this is huge. I'll memorize it.
I guess I haven't.
Who was your best man?
My brother.
Okay. So you're just you think he'll probably return that favor if indeed he gets married.
If indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought we could be better than that.
No chance.
Why?
The only thing you should be happy about is that mid-speech he didn't slide over and start trying to fire his bow and arrow at a guy. that he was playing live.
Checking Twitter.
Because your dad had told him about the game.
I don't know. I just thought that was kind of lame, man. Like, that's kind of one of the few things you look forward to in the wedding is like, oh, yeah, roast this guy.
Yeah.
But nothing.
That's a very solid weekend check. Because I got almost nothing.
I had a squared away Sunday. I
Nice.
thought, can I add mowed the grass on that? Is that on there?
Of course. It even feels squared away if somebody else does it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fine.
But I tried, I got, I was irrationally happy when I got the lawn mowed before it started raining.
Oh, yeah.
And just like every
We
old
had ours
white
done
guy
Saturday. And
walked inside, just in time.
Priceless. I got the solid car wash, and then I watched golf way more than I would care to admit. And then I watched the WNBA All-Star game.
Oh, no.
Okay.
I didn't do a whole lot.
We'll get to
Got
that.
outside a little bit.
So, my wife was out of town. My daughter came home, and I picked her up from the airport on Friday.
I could tell because there was just a suitcase like lying randomly in the floor.
In the middle of the middle of the kitchen floor. And anytime I mention it to her, she just says, "I knew you'd be upset that it was like in the worst place it could be. It's not against the wall even."
So she acknowledged it.
Yeah, and then she
That's
laughs
why
and
it's
walks
there.
away. And then I laugh too because she's pretty funny. She like we were on the phone with her mom, my wife. I think driving from the airport because she wanted to check on her or something. But as we were driving back and going somewhere to eat. And my wife was talking to her, and she just hung up.
What?
Just hung up in the middle of it. She had enough.
God, that's awesome.
She just, and I was like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "What? I'm done."
So
She did it to be funny.
So Dan's kid.
Yeah.
She did it to be funny.
Well, it was.
It was funny, and then we didn't have to listen to her yammer on anymore.
Now you got to hear about it, though.
Probably, yeah. And I just, she was funny. Just messing around. But so Saturday we did you've heard this before, did the exact same trip. Half Price Books on Harwood Road. Then we go to Chan's. In fact, I may have texted you that we were heading to Chan's. And then Andy's. A little ice cream to wash it all down.
What a triumvirate.
So, and as you know, I have 3, 4 now. Look to your left. I've made a little bookshelf back there because I have such an overflow of books. So I always have a few to bring. So I had a bag of books that I brought to Half Price Books.
Did you hit it big?
I think we hit $8 to $10, somewhere around there.
Solid.
Which is not bad. So I bring in this bag. It's very heavy. And I set it down. And she says, the lady at the counter, "Do you want to sell these today?" I'm like, yeah, I do. And I thought of some smart-ass things to say, and I just said, yeah. And so now she takes your license. If you've ever been to Half Price Books for some reason.
Is the other option just donate?
So I said to her, after she's taken down the info, I thought, you know what? I'm going to do the smart-ass thing. Mm-hmm. Kind of feeling good. About to go to Chan's. What a night I'm going to have. So, does anybody say no? Like, do they just come up here to get it appraised? Like a ring or something, you know? Like, what else? And then she said, well, some people just choose to donate. And then I felt
now you're a jerk.
Return
like a
volley.
jerk.
But if you really need 832,
Store credit.
But, so then I feel like a jerk, and I'm like, oh, I guess I'm the idiot here for even asking that, and blah, blah, blah. But then as I'm leaving, driving around and telling my daughter that I felt bad, even the daughter was like, look, it's not a charity. It's a for-profit. They're making they're not like taking so much from each donation and giving it to whatever. This isn't Goodwill.
yeah.
This is, it's Half Price Books, where they are making a ton. I gave them, 15 books, and they gave me $8. And I'm sure one of those books, if they just sell 2 of those books for $4 each, they're doing great. I don't know if they will, but they're probably making very good money at half-price books.
It's just, yeah.
But she made
I'm
me
trying
feel
to think
bad
of
for
how
a
they
minute.
can navigate that option other than just removing it, because she didn't say, "Would you like to sell or donate?"
Right.
So if they have that option at all, it's going to confuse some people.
Yeah. Anyway, and then one other thing that we'll talk about more in the days and weeks to come. But I have to tell you now, just to whet your appetite, because you're going to be excited. And I did this on Sunday morning by myself because my daughter on Saturday evening was going to go to her friend's house, her movie friend. She has a movie friend that they like watching movies. And they were watching the third in a trilogy. And then my daughter said, you're not going to need to see all three, but you should probably see number one because it's iconic. Part of whatever. Just the culture.
Really hope this isn't what I think it is.
They're into horror movies. This is her and her little movie friend. And so Sunday morning, I took in Human Centipede.
I freaking knew it.
The third one?
No.
Oh, the first one.
I just watched the first one. She said, don't worry about watching all of them, but you need to watch.
Sunday morning, you watched Human Centipede.
That's right. While some were in their houses of worship.
Little cup of coffee, little blanket on the couch, little sunshine shining through, dew.
Yeah.
I had the coffee, I had the yogurt, I had the big bottle of water. And yes.
Why must you torment me so?
I'm happy I did it.
When's the review?
Stay tuned.
We'll talk about it soon. There's just too many other things to get to today.
Well, Jake has to be here for it.
Jake has to be here, so I can't do it tomorrow. So it may come your way Friday, but then I believe my daughter would be happy to give her thoughts on all three as well. So maybe we'll just get her up here, too.
Maybe we do it on a video show so we can show Jake some of the scenes you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure YouTube would love that.
I want to book. I want to book The Middle Girl.
Hey, what was it like?
No.
The Middle Girl.
Why do you hate it so much?
I don't know. I'm not into gore.
Faces of Death guy over here.
I'm not into that sort of thing. Like, I know it's hard to explain that I would watch the torture of some
war
political
on terror.
prisoner or something
Yeah.
like that, but just involving feces and the mad scientist element of it and the imprisonment element of it. That stuff has always given me the worst kind of nightmare.
I will say you don't need to see it. Whatever you
Thanks.
think about it.
I was not going to.
Whatever you think about it is what it is.
There's not.
If you read the Wikipedia review
Yeah.
or rundown, you know what it is. There's not a lot of extra.
It's kind of right
But
there at the title.
Yeah.
The boys didn't know it, but I had plans for a Monday night concert that I purposefully did not tell them I was going to, knowing it would make for a good surprise the next day. Jake was out on Tuesday, so in for him was Danny Bayless and local comedian Lawrence Rosales. Does Danny need an intro? All right, give me 20 seconds. Danny was a producer for The Hardline on the ticket for like 20 years. He was a super integral part of the show, very active on air, made awesome production value, and became a staple personality on the best station in America. He left the ticket to start up The Freak and is now a free agent since The Freaks blow up. He's a great friend of ours, and we value what he can bring very much, so maybe you'll be seeing more of Dingu over time. All right, hear about my surprising Monday night concert with Lawrence and Danny on our Patreon-only episode from July 23rd.
No, but before we do any of that kind of stuff, Blake. So I got Blake on Find My Phone. Me and Blake follow each other.
Uh-huh.
So I could see when he's on his way, and he could see where I am, like he knew when I was at the Louvre in France. And I forgot where you were last night, Blake. And then I saw that you were in Grand Prairie.
Yeah.
At a Monday night concert?
Yeah, I went to the midweek concert.
Whoa.
And it's as draining as I thought it would be. Because a Friday, Saturday night show, well, I guess more Saturday, Sunday, but, there's no traffic getting in. But trying to get from
Telemarketer. Sorry. I'm just going to tell you every time I get it.
Here or Wiley to Grand Prairie was rough. And so then you get settled, and it's like I don't know. It was a lot more draining than I thought. And then plus you're getting home at 11 or midnight. But last night I went to Texas Trust CU Theater, and I saw Lindsey Sterling, who is a violinist. Anybody familiar? No.
I've heard the name.
What?
Okay.
But it might have been a different Lindsey Sterling. I don't know.
What is going on here?
I know this checks out because, I'll read a murder mystery on you. And I think this is a part of my alter ego or something. I really dig her music. And so I was...
Lindsey Sterling.
Yeah, so I was trying to think of why and how I started following her. And I think it's because of this. Do you know what this is? Lawrence or Danny? Boy, this makes me sad y'all haven't gotten it yet.
Is it a movie?
Is it something from Game of Thrones?
Man, this bums me out. This is the theme song for the video game Halo.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. It's
You're bummed that I don't know
long
that?
time.
I just thought that this was really recognizable. It was a huge game. Okay,
I've
anyway.
never
So
played
is this
Halo.
our closer?
So this, I just have heard this kind of this song and this kind of music in the menus of Halo for the last 20 years.
This is Lindsey Sterling.
Well, let me get to that. So this is the theme song to the original Halo, and all the Halo themes are kind of like this orchestra build, kind of. And so...
Tibetan monk choir.
I don't know. It kind of reminds me of almost Trans-Siberian Orchestra a little bit, and that kind of takeoff. But Halo was just such a huge part of my adolescence, and this music kind of stuck with me. And I know we've talked about, I even love the NFL Films music. Like that just kind of...
Yeah.
It's just background music for something. And I don't know, I just kind of fell in love with it. So back in the day, I put into my Pandora or whatever Halo NFL Films, and it recommended Lindsey Sterling. And she is, Dan, you might have to help me with some of this lingo, but I think she's like an electric violinist.
Okay.
And so her first album I think was in 2012, and it's kind of this kind of style of music. And it's kind of like a poppy violin, and you can say it's really gay, but I don't know, I just have a soft spot for this kind of stuff. So whenever I am working or reading and I just need something on in the background, I'll put this kind of music on. And especially on a plane, because I need something to drown out all the other noise, because I can't read to that. And so I don't know. I can't really explain why I like it, but I do.
Okay, Blake, I'll give you a break because I do the same thing. I put on classical or I put on certain movie soundtracks that have no words when I'm writing.
Yeah.
Or when I'm reading all the time. But so what, were you standing during this concert?
No.
It's sitting?
You're sitting down.
Are you wearing a tux?
Yeah.
Or a dress.
So a part of the funny part was I was supposed to go to this concert with my wife, who then bailed on me in the afternoon. And so I'm already on this side of town, and I don't want to go from here to Wiley to Grand Prairie to Wiley. I just wanted to stay west of Dallas. So I just went to the concert in my khaki shorts and Argyle t-shirt.
You went by yourself to this concert.
Yeah.
You know how when you go see certain acts, they make you put your phone in a bag?
Yeah.
Did you have to put your cock and your balls in one of those bags when you walked in?
So, there's... My thinking was, if I just call one of my friends and have to explain this whole ordeal, I just didn't want to have to deal with that. And then also, whenever I invited Dan to go see Kevin James with me, I just nonstop. I was just wondering, like, is Dan laugh? Is Dan having a good time? Is Dan gonna rip this? And so I thought, let me just free myself from all of that, and I'll just go by myself.
Yeah.
Walking up, I could kind of tell. Yeah, these are electric violin people.
Wait, describe for me an electric violin person. Yeah.
A lot of big rimmed glasses.
Yeah.
A lot of overweight people.
Yeah.
A lot of black. Like
really?
Like goth kind of.
Oh, I thought you meant like
Attire.
African American.
Yeah, I was about to say, I didn't see that coming.
doesn't-
Yeah.
No, not a lot of minorities there.
Yeah, I can imagine.
A lot of whites from, Alito probably. So yeah, I mean, I was very, very
Age?
out of place.
What was the demographic?
There was a lot of teenage girls. There were a lot of older women. Not a lot of dudes. The dudes there had the beaten look of, I got to take my daughter or accompany my wife to this.
Not a lot of 30-year-old dudes by themselves.
Where
Definitely
did
not.
people find out about her? Her music has had to have appeared in TV shows or video games or movies or something. Because there's no place to hear this commercially. On as far as radio or unless it's on like some adjacent playlists. I mean, how do you discover this weird poppy electric violin music?
I don't know. And like I said, I'm pretty sure it was Pandora. I mean, she has done like other renditions of Halo stuff, which is maybe how I found her. But I've just had her music downloaded on my phone for plane rides. And I don't know. I just have listened to her for a really long time. And the thing with her music is like I don't know any of her songs' names. I kind of know how they go. And when she was playing them, I was like, oh yeah, I recognize this, but I can't tell you an album name, a song name, or anything because it's just kind of filler in the background. So, but a part of the draw to her concert is, she's not just on a stool like playing a violin. She choreographs all of her stuff, and it's kind of like a play or ballet. And these songs obviously don't have lyrics, and I think, Dan, we've talked about this a lot, where you have to create your own story with some of these songs. And so here she is like living out like her idea of the song and her writing process, and it was kind of amazing to see because I had my story and like what I visioned when listening to the music, but it was kind of cool to see like all the dancers and I don't know, all of her stuff.
Did that bother you?
Really cool.
Your story? Because kind of like if you've read a book and you've always imagined what the characters look like, and then you see a movie and it's like, oh no, that isn't.
No, I know what you're talking about, and that's a big like book thing, right? No, the movie got it wrong. But no, I mean, I just kind of.
But even I used to think that in music too, and then you'd see the music video. Back when I was more into watching music videos.
Yeah.
You kind of create something in your head.
That makes sense. No, I just kind of enjoyed what I was seeing. Now, yeah, it's very, I don't know, my alter ego,
Gay?
I guess. Very gay. I'm very embarrassed to say all this, but
No, you need to own it.
just sitting there.
We're
into
supportive.
it.
We're supportive.
Just sitting there, like just
I support
watching.
the gay.
Yeah, I don't know. It was really cool, and in fact, I mean, it was one of the cooler concerts I've ever been to.
I just love peeling back the onion layer of Blake.
I know.
Get to the core, and it's just an electric violin.
So
But
unexpected.
yeah, and I don't know. I was trying to justify it to myself all night as I was sitting there by myself. But in a lot of concerts, you just heard the song a million times. They're out there running around, jumping and stuff, playing their song. But this was an act. It was a play almost. And to see it, I don't know, play out over 2 hours was really, really cool to me.
There's zero chance anyone listening to this went to that show,
No,
right? Like zero.
I would love it. I would love to talk to somebody about this.
I think that every day. Yeah, I would love to talk to somebody about
Was it
this,
sold
but
out?
nobody's listening.
It was pretty sold out.
How much are tickets?
50?
I think I paid, I don't know, like 40. But I mean, that was a part of my gripe is then you got to pay $30 to park. I paid $19 for a beer. Like, it's insane to go to a concert. But like does this draw you in at all? Like, is this anything you would ever listen to?
As background, but I would never like seek it out and
But yeah,
hey, I want to put this on.
Yeah, it's like being in an elevator and thinking, I got to see this live.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
there's definitely some of that.
Yeah, why would you say, I got to go see it?
But and I use this music to fall asleep, read to, whatever. I don't listen to this in my car.
He's enchanted.
But is this just not uplifting, like, in the least bit? Like, this is really cool to me.
I love that you love this. I mean, I'm
love that you love it,
shocked. I'm really surprised.
Like you said, NFL Films music is cool.
Right.
Would I go
Watch
see
it?
the NFL
Right.
Films? You know what? Now that maybe. If there was an orchestra just playing NFL Films music, that might be cool.
But then they set it to, like, there's a play, I don't know, a play or something where you
like
can observe.
Gronkowski is out there.
Yeah, I mean,
tights.
you'd get, into that. But
I don't think any of us would be as surprised if Blake said, I went to the symphony or I saw a ballet. You know, any of those more kind of like outside of just a rock concert art forms of music, there's a lot of those you can kind of accept, get your head around. I'm just really surprised by this niche little bubble that you discovered somewhere along the way.
It's so specific.
And yeah, it is. It's incredibly specific. It's very new agey. Something you might hear at a weird, I don't know, like Pilates class or something.
Yeah.
It's bizarre to me that this resonates with you somehow, but I want to laugh and judge you, but I really can't.
You're very welcome to.
It sounds like a healing crystal.
I feel very exposed right now. But yeah, it's...
I'm watching Dan hear you describe this concert, and I feel like he's thinking he'd rather be watching the A-Team.
Yeah. No, it was really cool. It was a very moving experience, if I could admit that. And it was really awesome.
Did you cry?
No, I wanted to.
I had a pretty traumatic experience at the Grand Prairie music venue.
Traumatic?
A little bit.
How come?
Like, you guys wouldn't know this either. I'm very much Blake. There was a TV show called Miranda Sings. It's one of these things when I was married that my wife liked it. And she's like, do you like it? And I was like, no, I love it. Because it was just nice to not have to argue about what to watch. And I'm kind of on my phone anyway. And she loved the show. And it's kind of geared towards more like younger people. And then I guess she told her mom that we both liked it. And then for Christmas, her mom bought us tickets to go see this live.
What a
so
gift.
for me, I lied. And now everything is getting worse. Yeah. So now I'm at this concert. And I mean, it's for younger. I mean, you've never seen the beer line be so short at a concert in your entire life. And I just remember at the end of it, I was trying to take a picture of myself at this concert to send it to my friends because I thought it was so funny. I met a Miranda Sings concert. And there was like a bunch of young girls sitting behind me. And I go to take a picture. I'm trying to take a picture of myself for like young people. Like, this is funny. And then I hear, this is the concert, everyone's leaving. I hear the girl go, Dad, that guy just took a picture of us. And I looked at the people I was with, and I was like, we got to go. We got to get out of here. We got to go now. They totally missed the bit. Yeah. So I don't know if I'm allowed back there, but I really wanted to go see Lindsey Sterling. They said no.
You should. They're great.
So
Anyways,
Lindsey Sterling.
Yeah, that was my Monday night adventure in Grand Prairie.
No regrets?
There's so many bits going on.
No, man. In
Stay
fact,
for the whole thing, huh? Didn't try to beat traffic?
No, I mean, in fact, I was looking up her other tour dates. Maybe I want to go see her again. It was really cool.
I love it.
Really cool. I was really glad I went by myself because I didn't have to worry about anyone else.
Gotten some good reception from this. A lot more Lindsey Sterling fans out there than I thought. But come on, how can you not vibe with this? This is so cool. All right, wanted to make sure you caught our anniversary show from Thursday. We went back through and pulled the best moments from the first year in the Dumb Zone. Even if it's not your thing and you don't like replays because you heard it all before, it could be a nice reset for those that are late to the show or aren't an everyday DF. What I'm telling you is, tell a friend. All right, mail time, and our first check-in from our Friday show in the Den from July 26th. Here is viewer mail.
Viewer mail.
Oh yeah, wait a minute, Uncle Hot Mail.
And then we'll get to Cowboys.
The ambiguity of this show.
Unless we need to... we don't really need to post-game the... We melted a Hanson CD, and then...
Yeah. Blew up a microwave.
Jake took a chainsaw to the microwave at the end. And we intended to ruin a microwave, but we may have also ruined a chainsaw. Like, who knew?
Just slip the chain back on there.
You think that's all you do?
Yeah. And maybe next time don't buy a woke chainsaw.
It is very... it is electric.
Dude, this is a cool picture of you chainsawing the microwave.
I haven't seen it.
Does he look badass?
Yeah, look at him. I mean, besides these gay goggles he's got on.
Yeah, why'd you wear goggles, Queen?
Shut up.
So this first email is entitled Barebacking, Guten Tag Air Hatchet Wound.
Jeez.
I believe the name of the trend you're searching for to describe flying with no external source of entertainment is called raw dogging. The other day, I erroneously said it was called barebacking. Was that the day you weren't here, Jake?
Must have been, yeah.
That's like a bit. And I heard about it from Steve Noviello's show.
When's that out?
You know what? They never... Did they not run it? Contacted... No, it was supposed to be, I think,
The
coming
censors, the lawyers, standards and practices were like, this is too hot.
I think it's supposed to be coming up this weekend. But Chris said he was going to send me some video to help promote that.
So how is this a bit? You just make yourself bored and you're like, funny.
Yeah, so raw dogging is taking a cross-country flight. Like, let's just say, for example, that we were doing something awesome, like flying to California. And on that flight, you would not read, you would not look at your phone, you would not look at your computer, you wouldn't do anything.
What's the point?
Just to say you can?
Yeah. And, like, that's a trend.
You haven't seen this?
No, and I am disgusted.
All you can do is sit there and look at the map that American Airlines puts in front of you.
So now we've even shamed reading?
Yes.
That's ridiculous.
Anyway, Jay, he's a day two. He said he's the one who corrected me. It's not called barebacking. It's called raw dogging.
I've always thought of those as synonymous.
Yeah, I think that's why. Probably why I did that.
I don't. This makes absolutely no sense to me. It's your peacetime. You can do email if you want to pay for Wi-Fi. You can get caught up on a book. You can get caught up on podcasts. Like, you're not achieving some sort of higher virtue by just being bored. It's not like it's like, hey, while you're on the plane, do some charity.
Yeah.
You're doing nothing.
Yeah, I'm planning on getting caught up on a lot of things on that RV trip.
I was going to say, you want to raw dog the RV?
Well, that for sure.
Jeez, yeah.
Speaking of that RV trip, so we're taking an RV trip to California. And Grady Spencer of Grady Spencer and the Work says, me and the boys made it a priority to stop in Albuquerque on tour earlier this year so we could see the Breaking Bad house severe letdown. Whoever lives there now had it up to his balls with the shenanigans and dipshits like us trying to make a music video in front of it, etc. He has built a fence and coned off the street. You can't even really see it or get close at all.
I've heard that.
So
Now it's confirmed by a trusted source.
Yeah, I say let's forget it.
Yep.
Which is fine. I'm all for not doing things.
We just chainsawed a microwave.
That's true. That was fun. Birthdays today. Dumb Zone. Today is July 25th. My boyfriend, Easton. You may know him as the My Pig valedictorian.
Yeah.
The son of helicopter guy.
Yeah.
He's 22. This is from Annika.
His dad, do you know what he's talking about, Dan?
Yes, the guy who almost crashed in Hawaii, was it?
They did crash, kind of. They crash landed.
Yeah.
And filmed it.
Yeah, we had him on when we were down in Waxahachie? Somewhere way down there.
Yeah, not Waxahachie. Athens. Yeah.
We'll go anywhere.
That's true. Anyway, he'd love for you guys to wish him a happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
Happy birthday.
Easton.
Love from the Gunnards. And his amazing family on this special day from Annika. So she's really trying to kiss up to the whole family, too.
Yeah. Something must have gone wrong.
She wants that ring. He's only 22. Slow down, Annika.
You got time.
But I trust a 22-year-old named Easton.
He's valedictorian.
Yeah. You're in good hands. He'll probably be one of our bosses one day.
We can only hope.
Yeah.
T.O. Hotmail. Can I have a shout out? My birthday is 7/27. Let's see. It's my Brittany Griner plus Kentavious Caldwell-Pope on the Lakers' birthday. Leaders are Tanya Couch, Susie Favor-Hamilton, and Blake's pants-facing dash cam. More Danny and Blake. My wife says Blake needs to add The Hooker and the Hermit to his book club list.
Writing that down right now.
From Dario.
Hooker and the Hermit.
Hey guys, today is my Tim Duncan plus Tony Romo plus Cooper Rush birthday. That's right, I'm 40.
Okay.
I sent a little money to the Venmo. I live in San Angelo, and I want a Kemp spin of our very own on the list. Is there a Kemp spin about San Angelo, Texas? Bonus points if Blake can name the mascots for one or both of our high school football teams. San Angelo Central or San Angelo Lakeview. I appreciate the show. As a father of a 2.5-year-old son, Blake and Jake's fatherhood anecdotes have been invaluable from Matt in San Angelo.
Wow.
You're welcome.
Your anecdotes. Man, yesterday you should have seen what
Shut
Brooks
up.
did.
Do you know the mascots?
No, I don't.
I don't really have a Kemp spin, but there's a state school for people with mental disabilities there. And one time my brother and I drove my uncle back there because
Ooh, you just laughed in Bear Trap.
Yep. And
Laughed at Jake's uncle.
we drove him back there.
Uncle.
And so when we got there, it was very similar to the scene when Adam Sandler pulls up in Happy Gilmore to the old folks' home. Like, there were kind of people just like wandering around. It was a really sad deal, and they're kind of like, they definitely have a get me out of here vibe.
Really?
Yeah.
Not like, hey, this is great.
No.
It's great when they start abusing us when you guys drive home.
Yeah. No, it was not like that.
So you have a mentally disabled uncle. You could do Shane bits. You could lean into it.
I think you have to also share their traits.
And Shane does.
Correct.
Dan, I'm a month 1 DF. Blake's day 1 deal is sounding better and better every day. So how's that going? People are buying into being day 1.
Yeah, we're about halfway sold out.
Okay.
So get on it if you have plans on doing it.
My younger brother and his girlfriend welcomed a baby boy into the world today. Wish a literal happy birthday to baby Lorenzo.
That's a good name.
Please let Blake know I truly respect his literary choices.
Bring it.
As an author myself, I read a ton of different genres, including HEA romance. What's that mean?
HEA?
Yeah.
Says happily ever after.
Aw.
He says also, I've never been to Eatsies. What should I get there? Oh, we forgot to thank. Did Austin get us Eatsies? Who got us Eatsies? You got us Eatsies? How do we get Eatsies today?
I did. I don't know if I'm going to send Austin how much it is or not. He offered to pay.
Yeah, we're taking care of it.
Well, thank you, Austin.
Get a sandwich. They're phenomenal.
I was going to say salmon. But you
It
do
is-
your thing,
also,
Andrew
it is-
J. Brandt.
It is Friday.
Ooh.
Get some pizza tonight.
Get some
You know what?
pizza.
On my way home, I will.
And yeah, so I'm like, so he's a leading statement guy.
You're an author, huh?
Yeah, what's he got? What's
He
his
is
name?
AndrewJBrandt.com, BRANDT. Get my 10-step ebook to help take your story from idea to first draft. So he's like got a book on how to write a book, which I think is a great bit.
Yeah.
Because a book seems daunting. Like, to me, a paper is quite enough. But there you go, Blake. Learn how to write your own romance novel.
Your own HEA.
He's got a reading list here that I might just peruse.
Hey, DZ, day 2 here, number 1319. My leaders are Danny Bayless, Heart Attack Man, and Dan not being able to pronounce the word sandwich. I was at the Den in March with my Aggie cousin Ben. Jake told me he liked my Impala.
Yeah, it was badass.
Shout out to my wife Aubrey. She's celebrating her Dirk birthday. She hates y'all and makes fun of me for being dedicated to a dumb podcast. I would like you to read this email so that I can play it for her when y'all reveal that I moosed her last night.
Jeez, man.
She has no idea. It was awesome.
Oh, well, why is it awesome? This part's actually kind of awesome.
Tell Jake I too gag every time I brush my teeth. Stay hard, more Jasmine from Matt. And finally, dear Asian takeout Daniel, I want to give a birthday shout out to my daughter Freya. Freya? Freya. Question, who do you think would win in a fight? Antonio Alfonseca's extra finger nub?
Or just the extra finger?
Hold on.
Or that growth that was on Alexio Gando's face? My leaders are Axe Wound, Gash, Blake's Pelican Poem, and Sarah Hepola from DF number 256, formerly 780 before I shamefully bought my way into day one status. That is Darren. And that is today's viewer mail.
Lorenzo is a cool name.
Still some tickets left for Dumb Zone Day at the ballpark. Come watch the Rangers and Blue Jays on September 19th. First pitch at 1:30. So take a half day. You deserve it. We're doing our show from the Lowe's Hotel next door, so you can swing by and see us before the game, and we'll all share a boomstick when we get inside. We are releasing some special merch for the game. Get the special edition Dumb Zone trucker hat to wear to the game. On sale until July 31st. Don't forget you receive 2 bonus items with every order, and if you're attending the game that day, you will also get a free event t-shirt with your order. So if you're headed to the game, please check out dumbzonemerch.com. Get your trucker hat, get your free event t-shirt, get your 2 free items. It's a deal. All right, let's check in on the WNBA All-Star game. This from our Monday Sode.
So I noticed pretty early on that I was very entertained by their play-by-play guy. They had a female color commentator, a male play-by-play guy. I'm sure one of our people will weigh in and tell me who this guy is. I never even wrote the name down, but he's kind of a wild ride, and he's really trying to sell you on what a big deal this night is for the WNBA, and the WNBA is here, and look at the stars, they're out. And he's, I guess, calls a lot of WNBA games. I think he's the main, like he's their Breen, I guess, because he's really into the league and really into the game, and he's going to let you know about it. So the first cut I have here, Cheryl Miller, legend, was coaching, because the game was in Phoenix. I guess that's where she was first coach, or don't ask me.
Something.
She was coaching the WNBA team. And there was a lot of mic'd up situations going on, especially in the huddle. And she was trying to illustrate a play, but she wasn't doing it on a whiteboard like normal. So you can hear her talking, and she's pointing at Caitlin Clark, and she's like, you're going to come off this screen, do it at this time, in this angle. And that's where we pick it up.
All right, it's got to be quick. All my guards, spread out in high sight. Looking for the three. Pick and roll, let's go. Pick and roll, let's go. Let's go.
They need to get Cheryl Miller a whiteboard for those who are visual learners. Like myself. Like, draw this up for me, coach.
That wasn't that funny, first of all.
That's Ryan Rucco.
Ryan Rucco, okay. You're a friend of his?
No, he does a lot of NBA too.
Okay.
He's one of their...
I knew I recognized his voice,
Yeah.
but...
I can tell from his laugh.
Like myself. Like, draw this up for me, coach.
Nneka Ogwumike helping to explain it as
And the
Cheryl
marker
Miller.
doesn't work.
Okay, so now Cheryl Miller is coming over to the broadcast table and yelling, and the marker doesn't work.
Explain it as
And the
Cheryl
marker
Miller.
doesn't work.
She's giving us, okay, yeah, all right.
That was intentional.
Oh, my.
That's the noise that caught me where I said, I'm going to start rolling on everything this guy does tonight.
That was intentional.
Absolutely.
He did it again!
What fun.
He did it twice.
Oh, okay. I thought that was like a drop.
No,
Yeah.
he did it twice in a span of like 6 seconds. A man you should never, a noise you should never hear a man make.
To get her a new marker.
Absolutely. Cheryl saying, come on, Rebecca.
We are having
fun.
so much
Good
fun in
times.
that. I think you might have done it again. Hold on. He did.
Oh my!
Cheryl saying, come on, Rebecca. Really, Cheryl is just so beloved. He was the first ever coach of the Phoenix Mercury.
Okay, so I'm going to take you now to halftime. They did a little quick highlight package, and I had heard them teasing this, so I knew what was coming, but I'm not going to tell you guys what it is. I'm just going to let you enjoy this coming back from break.
Welcome back. It's halftime. A 2-point lead for the women's national team behind Breanna Stewart, leading all scorers with 14 points. She also has 5 rebounds. Well, it is time to have some fun. To help us get this halftime party started, we send it to public address announcer Patrick LaGreed for a special performance.
Fans, are you ready for your All-Star halftime entertainment? All the way from the 305, make some noise for Grammy Award-winning global superstar, Pitbull!
Oh, great.
They got Pitbull.
Now it's Pitbull time.
All right.
And I'm telling you, dude, he's up there with 6 dancers, female dancers. And normally, when you see the NBA dancer, even though they're dancing very suggestively, they have like booty shorts on, right? Almost volleyball shorts.
Yeah.
They're very tight. Pitbull's dancers had skirts on, like of that length, which a lot of times when women do that, they'll wear a skirt of that length and then some tight shorts underneath. Mm-hmm. They were not. It was basically underwear.
Okay.
And that was what somebody sent that to me Saturday night in the group text. Was like, I can't believe this is happening on ABC. Like, you could just see full ass. Pitbull.
Tree falling in the forest, though.
That's true. Very true. I thought Blake would enjoy this. Mic'd up with her. Just a little bit of a talk of who's in the stands.
I have a mic on, just so you know. Okay. I gotta guard Angel. Oh, I ain't guarding you. I don't want to guard you.
Hey, they looking for that over the top every time.
Oh my God, Ty Dolla $ign here.
Who? Ty Dolla $ign,
Oh.
the rapper.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I don't know if you were ever into him, but yeah, it's just like she's like, swoon.
Oh my God, Ty Dolla $ign here.
Like, I'm not sure he could get courtside seats at an NBA regular season game. That's not true, but at the end of the first half break, they got Holly Rowe there. And she does an interview with, I guess it's Breanna Stewart. And she starts the interview in the tunnel, almost near the door of the locker room. And then they conduct the interview walking down the tunnel, and it wraps up basically at the baseline. It was weird. I thought, why not just let her walk down here and do a stationary interview like everyone else does?
May not have time.
They may have gotten more time this way, I think.
Maybe Aaron Sorkin is producing the broadcast.
Perhaps. Boy, did you see he had a big weekend.
No, why? Just because it seems like a West Wing episode?
No, because pretty much everybody's tired of his shit and tired of the West Wing, like, philosophy and politics.
You've hated it forever.
Yeah, from day one. And he wrote maybe an op-ed in one of the big papers. It said something of like how I would write the Democrats' plan right now for drama or for television. And his big suggestion was that next month at the convention, this is before Joe had been axed, they should not nominate Joe Biden. They should not nominate a Democrat. They should nominate Mitt Romney.
Okay.
Most of the reaction was like the one you just had.
All right.
So let's go to that Holly Rowe interview and get a little juice from the play-by-play guy here.
How much fun is this environment and all the eyes that are here tonight?
How much fun are you
How
having?
much fun? Your Dan's favorite question.
You having a good time?
How much fun is this environment and all the eyes that are here tonight?
Incredible atmosphere. Obviously, Phoenix has been an amazing host for this All-Star game, and just continuing to make sure that we go home and get ready to go to London and get this done.
Thanks so much.
Good stuff with Stewie. Thank you, Holly.
He just sounds condescending. Like he's meaning to come off excited and stuff, but it's not.
Sounds Family Guy-ish. Well, if you weren't beaten yet,
Uh-huh.
this is somebody that they welcomed into their huddle in the second half in Cheryl Miller's huddle.
Well, we saw Cheryl Miller call on Annie Myers-Drysdale earlier. Now her and Annie call on Ted Lasso. They bring Jason Sudeikis in for the fourth quarter huddle with Team WNBA leading after 3 over the USA Women's National Team.
All right, you don't need to hear the rest of it, but yeah, they go to a shot of him in there doing his Ted Lasso bit.
But that checks out, right? The fans of the WNBA definitely love Ted Lasso.
Yeah. He's doing everything he can to avoid saying the word gay.
And I like Jason Sudeikis.
Yeah.
That's what's bothering me about this whole Ted Lasso phenomenon.
Yeah.
Because I now want to not like him.
And then, here's a review of Pitbull from the play-by-play guy. This was maybe later.
Wait, I wonder if he had a problem. It wasn't that good, maybe.
Technical issues. He didn't play my favorites. I thought the set list could have been a little stronger.
Skirt's too short.
Yeah.
Out of bounds off of Jonquel Jones. And it will be the USA Women's National Team ball. Oh, yeah. Little slow-mo dance move there.
Okay, so they showed like a
a
little clip of the crowd that it looked like it was from the concert. It was a really confusing cutaway because it was mid-play or, after a made or missed basket. And they had like kind of slowed down the crowd dancing to Pitbull, and it lasted about 3 seconds. I have no idea why they did this.
How are you not terrified by this thing?
Oh, dude, I didn't even know about it.
See, like, it's just flying above my head.
We'll take care of it in the break.
It's got a stinger.
We'll take care of that in the break.
Oh, it's a mud dauber. He's fine.
And Dan's just going to put him on his shoulder for the rest of the show.
Yeah, he's fine.
You should try to get him on a leash like on Jackass. Get a little string and tie a knot.
He would just sit there and let you do it. That's how cool he is.
All right. We're almost done, Blake. We'll take care of this.
We have a wasp in the den here, but it's a mud dauber.
How did they get in?
Okay, hey, look. I'll watch your 6. You got to watch mine.
Got you.
All right.
And it will be the USA Women's National Team ball. Oh, yeah. Little slow-mo dance move there. Hey, Pitbull was terrific at halftime.
Absolutely outstanding.
So Rossi can't hit the 3.
She's still playing.
I left all that in there for you just so you could tell. The analyst gave him nothing. Absolutely.
Yes, yeah.
And then it was right back to it. Okay, and then this last one, it was, I imagine the ratings were solid. I think we can at least acknowledge that the WNBA is as popular right now as it has been in quite some time. Caitlin Clark's a big deal. The rivalry with Angel Reese is a big deal. It's Olympic season. I don't know. They're selling way more tickets than they ever have before.
It feels like it's probably the peak.
Yeah. I was going to say, I know maybe early on, the early excitement for it, a lot of them are hot now. They're all posting thirst traps on their entrance to the game.
Yeah.
So there were, more celebrities there than maybe in years past, but I stack this up to like an NBA game.
Okay.
The Stars are in the building in Phoenix. Sue Bird, Megan Rapinoe here.
Mm-hmm.
So a lady who just used to play basketball.
Sue Bird. And then,
Not just used to play basketball, but, Megan Rapinoe is always going to be in the mix at these things.
Soccer?
Yeah.
How about Paige Beckers, Cheryl Swoops, Kim Hampton in the building, Vanessa Bryan here.
Now, these are all players or former players?
All women.
They're all, yeah. And now here goes to...
Yeah, these aren't surprises yet.
No.
Oh, my gosh, I can't believe.
That's how you say Paige's last name? I thought it was Buchers.
I've actually heard it both ways.
I'm going to trust this guy.
Yeah,
I'm Cam Brink, though, so... This is weird to me because I feel like it was a shot of Vanessa Bryant and one of their daughters, but maybe there's also someone named Vanessa Bryan, but I don't think that's a name that you would be messing up.
Kim Hampton in the building, Vanessa Bryan here with her daughters.
No T?
Yes. Kathy Engelbert, the commissioner of the WNBA, with her daughter.
They got the commish.
So Kathy Engelbert, first of all, have you ever heard that name before today?
Of course not. I'd never seen her. Like when they panned to her, I'm like, okay.
But is it funny we have to also say they're here with their daughters?
Oh, that's a big player here.
Can they not be?
They're trying to kill a weekend, too.
Did their son say absolutely not? Like, how about just and their kids? Or it's got to be their daughters. Like
in the building. And so is Adam Silver with young 7-year-old Louise. Little daddy-daughter trip to the WNBA All-Star game. Shannon Sharp catching the action courtside. This has become such an iconic event. You know, I feel for Aubrey
Shannon
Plaza.
Sharp, ESPN employee, right?
Yeah.
Okay, doesn't count.
Is he still? Yeah, right? Now, the name you're going to hear here next is at least a big deal to us because we love her for many, many
It's
things.
Shane. Oh, a lady.
And they cut to her on the sideline, and she has crutches. And they're messing with like a bag of ice on her knee.
Such an iconic event. You know, I feel for Aubrey Plaza. She came this weekend with a healthy knee. She's leaving with a torn ACL thanks to a hearty game of knockout at the Mercury practice facility.
I did not know it was possible to tear your ACL playing knockout.
Look at Super trying to help her with her ice. Gumake off the delivery from Gray.
So they cut over to Aubrey Plaza, and she's looking as Aubrey Plaza as ever. She's got a backwards hat on, a big T-shirt, couple drinks right below her, but she's got kind of a knee thing on, and she's on crutches.
Okay.
Go home.
You would think.
Well, she came there
She
that.
has sunglasses on, so she was definitely partying.
Yeah. I'm pro Aubrey Plaza for sure.
I am too, but I don't know that it's good for the women's game for anyone to point out that a woman can tear their ACL playing knockout.
Showing up.
I wouldn't have said that part.
All right, there's my review.
One more sports segment for you. It's the Cowboys State of the Team Address. I'm aware that some people think we do too much Cowboys, especially when the season hasn't started yet. But think of it like this. How do you not enjoy hearing Jerry talk in circles and talk about a gnat's ass? Come on. And there are chapters in this, so just skip ahead if you want. Y'all know how to use that, right? Apple makes it super easy. You can just click right on ahead. All right, just checking. Here's Jerry from our Friday episode.
So, yeah, we like to cover the Cowboys press conference, of course. It's fun to listen to Jerry talk. There's no real Stephen McCarthy laugh montage. There was some laughing, but not like it has been in the past.
No.
We're down to business, and maybe because we started with
Hey, is this your kid?
a question about the legal issue. So it's that paternity thing, the countersuit, all that. It was settled the day before because, in fact, they were supposed to have the opening press conference on Wednesday, but Jerry had to be in court. They ended up settling it, which always happens, doesn't it, with these either rich guys or corporations. They kind of drag it out for a while, and then they put you through the ringer, and then they end up settling.
I don't even know that it was settled.
No, I believe it was.
Sort of. I mean, it was settled in the sense that they're just going back to the previously existing agreement. It's not like they agreed on a...
But somehow they agreed.
They dismissed it, though. But yes, during lunch, they agreed.
Yeah. So
Very weird. Now, perhaps, behind the scenes...
A little extra money thrown
somebody
in
made
there.
a little phone call and was like, how about we don't come back from lunch? And you just sign something.
Yeah. So, yeah, we'll see about this in a few years when they contest that one. Anyway, it's interesting here because David Moore gets the first question, as usual, and it's all about the legal issues. And then let's hear what Jerry has to say about that, because this is the last time you're going to hear about it, apparently.
What led to the resolution to this latest trial in Texarkana after just one witness?
Well, we got it. We got it resolved like I wanted, and so it was unfortunate, but it is resolved, and that was.
Remember, the question is what led to the resolution?
Mm-hmm. Of course, very sensitive with my family, and it was very sensitive with the unique publicity that's involved with the Cowboys, and but it was involved satisfactorily for all concerned. I won't be commenting any more about it, but I certainly are where I want to be.
So he didn't answer the question and then said, I won't be commenting anymore.
Yeah.
A brilliant rich guy move.
It is.
Like, hey, I already said I commented. Well, yeah, but you didn't.
I wish that you didn't need credentials so that somebody wouldn't be worried about losing theirs. So I wish he would have just been like, hey, is that your daughter?
Yeah.
Just to see what he'd say. I mean, he'd say, I'm not going to comment on that, blah, 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 but that's...
Or like, hey, why won't you say that?
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't say that because I support Jerry and all of this. But.
Somebody's trying to make sure we can still go to California.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Look, I can be bought. So this, I've got a couple themes of some things. And if one of yours fits in better, then tell me. But I will just tell you that Jerry... Oh, okay, this is a theme I had a little bit.
But I will say this, if I'm anything, I want to say to our fans, I'm good with math.
Okay, so he's good with math.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's also going to swear.
I'm good with math. I'm very good. And I can stretch $1 because I can put a lot of energy, juice, and bullshit with it.
Okay.
That's very... You know how I told you I thought it was funny that they all drink so much, but then they like constantly joke about how much they drink?
Yeah.
It's funny to me that everybody knows it's like, man, Jerry's such a bullshitter. And he's just like, yeah, people believe me because I bullshit them.
Yeah.
He just says it.
But there's a lot of talk, as we do every year, about the cap. And look, you guys are like the fans. You just want us to sign everybody. We just can't. We got a cap, and this is why CD Lamb is out and all that.
A pie.
So remember that Jerry's very good with math. Okay?
Okay.
He says he's very good with math. There.
But the way that, as I sit here today at almost 35 years, you've got to help me with my mathematics here, but almost 35 years.
Okay, wait. I thought he said he was good with math.
Well, the facts are that I'm going to need a little bit of help here, but how many Pro Bowlers do we have out here?
14.
14 Pro Bowlers on this field right now.
12 All-Pros.
And 12 All-Pros.
Okay, so...
Need a little help.
He's not great with math, but he is when he tells you that he is.
Yeah.
This, I thought, was a Freudian slip. He's just talking about, being in the league a long time, all that.
And so that you can't be... and do what I have the privilege and the opportunity to do, and that's be a part of the Dallas Cowboys and run the NFL.
We all three perked up when he said that. Like, yeah, we know.
Because I think he means be part
of the NFL,
and
run the Cowboys.
And run the Cowboys, but it is kind of the other way around, isn't it?
Yes.
Like if something is getting done in the NFL, Jerry has to sign off.
I mean, how many of those Don Van Natter or whatever investigative reports have you seen where they're talking about the owners' meeting and there's a scene described where and Jones stood up and pounded the table?
Like he might have more of a say in matters there than he does like in who the Cowboys draft.
Yeah, I can almost guarantee you he has more say than Goodell.
Yeah, for sure. He's Goodell's boss.
Yeah.
Okay. This is kind of funny. So, on the podium, you got your Tad. He's the new Rich Dalrymple. Good dude. I met Tad probably 15 years ago because he used to run the media for the Cavs under LeBron. And I think that's why the Cowboys probably hired him. He's used to big circuses. He's used to the craziest scene in the NBA. He can certainly handle the Dallas Cowboys. And he seems to have his act together. So, and again, I'll say really nice things about him.
I was going to say, boy,
but no, he's a good dude. You've met him.
Yeah.
So then, so he's sitting there next to Jerry. He was the one feeding him how many Pro Bowlers there are. Because how would your GM know that? Then it's McCarthy, and then it's Steven. So kind of McCarthy in the middle, as if it's almost like
main stage.
He's the main guy. They are talking for 19 minutes. 19 minutes
of a 45-minute press conference
before this.
All right, Calvin.
Calvin Watkins, Dallas Morning News. It's for Coach McCarthy.
All right. Here you go.
Hey, wait. Let's talk about football.
Coach, that's football.
There you go.
Like they're all just so excited and happy that
Somebody.
Hey!
Oh, no.
Put that dog back in the microwave. They're also excited and happy that somebody actually has a question for Mike McCarthy.
I told you this morning when we were talking about it, it felt very much like when there's a special kid on a football team and everybody like runs him like, come on, little buddy.
Yeah. The one score.
Yeah.
Calvin Watkins, Dallas Morning News. It's for Coach McCarthy.
All right. Either way, let's talk about football.
Coach, that's football.
There you go.
You got a couple of guys who are coming off off-season surgeries, like Mozzie and Luke. Will they be on the pup, or are they ready to go for the first practice?
You know what? Let's get back to Jerry. Let's
boring.
Yeah.
Question about your third-string tight end.
Okay, so 19 minutes in. So now he answers, and now we go to the 29-minute mark. And now Tad's going to take matters into his own hands.
Anybody have a question for Mike? Because practice is going to start here. Patrick Walker, DallasCowboys.com.
Had to be him.
The guy from DallasCowboys.com. What, Brad Sham wasn't around? So we had to, because Brad Sham will always
God, that's embarrassing, dude. You know what that's like? To keep forcing these comparisons. You know what I used to hate was when you go to a family event and, you know, you say hi, you're a shy kid or whatever, weird, awkward, you know, preteen, and then your mom is like, hey, did you say hi to your grandma?
Oh my gosh.
Or did you say hi to your aunt? And I'm like, I did already, but if I need to do it again.
But it's handing the phone on Christmas Day, too.
Yeah.
Your
like,
aunt. You haven't talked to her since last Christmas Day, and she has nothing for you.
No, you're both staring at each other like, yeah, I guess. Does anybody have a question for Mike?
It's at least the phone, you can roll your eyes and stuff.
Yeah. But
FaceTime has killed that.
Definitely.
FaceTime is terrible.
And
man.
McCarthy's up there like, literally, I'm aware that none of you want to speak with me.
Okay. Do you want to... We'll end with ambiguity.
Okay.
Want to do that?
Yeah, sure.
Unless you think you have an ender. Because I'll play one that I think will lead into your stuff, which is... this is like Jerry, country guy. You know, he certainly comes across as a country bumpkin type of guy who has billions of dollars.
And on our last labor agreement, I was in them, with them, just me and the players that were negotiating. And we were down to the gnat's ass, where there was not much left in the agreement.
He loves the gnat's ass.
The gnat's ass, when he's having to do something that's really kind of, instead of saying threading a needle, it was always circumcising a mosquito.
Right.
Love that one, too.
Real tiny.
So he's got some fables and stories in my audio. This first one's not necessarily country, but it is really weird. He did this for about 5 minutes where he kept describing himself as an option quarterback. Now, I don't know if this is just proverbial. I never knew him as a quarterback. I mean, I know he played offensive line in college. Maybe he did run the option in high school, but he really loved this reference. Oh, am I not? Yeah, my bad, Blake.
I can go back hundreds of times and look where I should have pitched or handed it off to the back rather than keep the ball. And I can do that not just with the instances you're talking about on players, but I can do it in my life many times. And so,
a lot of times I should have pitched.
Many times.
Many times I should have pitched. He's just thinking about it.
And say, man, I should have handed that ball off rather than keep on toward the sideline. My point is that...
which is?
That still, whatever frailties there are, and there are some, the negatives in my world have outweighed, the positives has outweighed the negatives. And you have to look at it. I heard one time to use every decision the Ben Franklin method.
We were all like, all right, where are we headed here?
And Ben Franklin said, when you're worried and tired and can't sleep, Ben Franklin.
The Ben Franklin.
I'm talking Ben.
$100 bill.
The Ben man.
And say, man, I should have handed that ball off. Can't sleep. Ben Franklin. Said, get up in the morning and list on one side all the positives, everything good. And then get up and take on the left side all the negatives, everything bad. And if that positive side beats that negative side by 1, you're doing good.
And as Blake said yesterday, he's essentially just describing a pros and cons list. Which
He invented it.
I never thought
Ben
of.
Franklin invented
electricity,
the kite.
pros and cons.
Yeah, he invented the kite.
He keeps going with the option quarterback thing here.
I have, in my life, played option quarterback so many times and wait until the last leaf on the tree. And if you want to picture an pure option quarterback going out to the sideline, I have run that ball and kept it and not hand it off to the back, not pitch it back, not throw it. And I have run that thing all the way out to the sideline before I made the decision.
I thought we were talking about leaves.
Because I couldn't get whatever it took it wasn't right for me to make the decision. And so what our fans, what you're seeing, what we deal with is we're buying time. We're option quarterback, and then we're going on out toward the sideline, and we haven't handed it off. We haven't pitched it. We're trying to make our mind up what to do. Does that sound like Mahomes to you?
No.
A little bit? Okay.
No.
No,
that
he's
sounds
never
like,
run the option in his life.
That sounds like a broken play.
Yeah.
I didn't hand it off. I didn't pitch it. I just kind of ran to the sideline.
By the way, while they've been waiting,
Yeah, maybe more Dak.
while they've been waiting and holding the ball, running towards the sideline, Tua just signed like a record-breaking deal.
Highest?
Highest for a 4-year. 4-year, $212 million.
Okay.
So every single day they wait, is it holding on to the ball, running to the sideline?
Yeah. Some of the reporters were bringing that up too. Like, you're waiting for CeeDee Lamb, blah, blah, blah.
I think this is Tim, I think. If not, I have one more to end with.
Tim.
Tim Kalishaw, Dallas Morning News. Jerry, as far as you being all in, Mike's job is on the line. That's been discussed. The other coach's job is on the line. The general manager's job is not on the line. Steven's job is not on the line. 31 other organizations don't do it this way. The only thing that happens here is coaches get recycled and you've made 8 coaching hires. Why does this make sense for the Cowboys when nobody else does it this way?
I think the Cowboys have had 2 general managers, Tex Ram and me. 2 in the history. You look around the NFL, and I'll bet I don't know. I really haven't studied this, but I'll bet you they've had 30.
Okay, here's what's interesting about this. That's what we're saying, dude. Because when they suck, they get fired. But he's bragging about it almost in a sense of like, hey, look, we got continuity around here.
Yes, in the time.
These other teams are firing guys when they suck. We write it out.
That's right.
And it's like he's telling Tim exactly and all of us exactly what we're saying. But he's holding it up as like a badge of honor.
They've had as many general managers maybe sometimes as they've had coaches.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Since the reality of it is, which was from the day that we walked through the door.
John and Plano. That's the exact same bit. The day I walked through that door.
Oh, yeah. He's been doing this.
That I knew that I was going to have to be responsible for any and everything that went on.
He goes on for another 2 minutes.
And that's what an owner does.
Yeah.
And the owner is always the last word. But, yeah, sometimes you want people that have less going on than an owner. You got a lot of shit happening when you're the owner.
So this last one here got a little bit of witticism in it, and I think he was asked about how he takes input from other people.
I like to think that the reason that I've enjoyed some success in my life is that I've had people like Mike and Steven in my ear hard.
Dirty sound.
Ow. Now, Steven is my son.
Yep.
And then my children, we all work together.
Alexandra.
Not all of them.
I heard a father's prayer one time that says, please don't let me be a bully. Because I can be, they will let me because they love me. And so that
Okay, so I kind of think I understand what he's saying. He's saying that if you're a parent, you couldn't just go up to another kid and slap him on the slap. But if it's your kid, they'll accept that you're being a bully to them because they love you, but that doesn't mean you should take advantage of the fact that you can be a bully to them. Does that make any
sense?
sense?
But he wants to be a bully.
He wants to.
Yeah.
But he's like, look, just because I know I can smack him around a little bit doesn't mean I will.
All right.
Very confusing. That's training camp coverage.
No, I got one more.
Oh, you do? I forgot. You got a big one.
Well, that's... Hey, thanks, bro. Because of... we did... Very early on, he indicated that he had just had a conversation and somebody said a word and he liked it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Because you'll notice this in different areas of life. But let's see if we can all pick out what word did Jerry recently learn.
But after 35 years, the one thing that's for sure is ambiguity. And just the nature of what being a part of sports and part of football is very ambiguous, which being here with you today reminds me just how lucky I am and how wonderful this is. But it is more ambiguity involved than I ever could have imagined. And so that part works. We've got a lot of ambiguity in the team.
Man.
I have ambiguity everywhere in the things that I look at and do. And so I'm maybe the best thing that that God gave me was a tolerance for ambiguity. As a matter of fact, since we last met here last year, there's been even more ambiguity thrown on the table. Now, that's not unique. Millions of your readers and your fans that you communicate with, millions of them live that every day. There's nothing new about a human being having to live with ambiguity. Mm-hmm. There's nothing bright-lined about the kinds of things that you would have noted in this off season that are not happening. That's not bright lines. It's got a lot more ambiguity to it.
It's so good. It's also funny that he chose his buzzword to be a word that's tough for him to say.
Yeah, no, that's why.
Ambiguity.
You gotta love it.
There were a few other words that I feel like he heard in court this week.
That resolution. He was peppering in there?
Yeah.
Resolve, resolution.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, resolve. That stuck out.
There's a lot. We could play a lot more, but one of the entertaining things to me was, obviously, there's a lot of all-in. Maybe I'll make that montage for Monday. But there's also the fact that they are wildly inconsistent over the years is their consistency. He's saying that's what got us here to this point.
Hard to argue with, though.
So, you know how we would criticize him for they would draft Michael Irvin, but then they would see, man, there's been a lot of problems with Michael Irvin over the years. I'm not going to draft Randy Moss because he's got some red flags. And then he has a Hall of Fame career. So that's like, okay, well, now I'm going to draft Dez. Like, they always go back and forth on what they are. They don't have a, Belichick famously, this is the way we draft. This is the kind of player we're looking for. Well, year to year, the Cowboys are different. And Jerry is now saying, that's true. What you've been saying all these years that we've been pushing back against is true. But look where we are. We're on top of the world. We win 12 games a year, and we're worth billions of dollars. So that's our consistency. That's what, when you think we're inconsistent, that's the way we roll, bruv.
Yeah.
That's the way we roll.
A gentle reminder, if you aren't already subscribed, why not? Nearly 5 extra hours of Dumb Zone content a week for $7. 20 hours a month of a moderately funny podcast for the same price as a Starbucks blonde vanilla latte. Which would you rather have? A month of content or a Starbucks drink? Even though the Starbucks blonde vanilla latte is really good, but $7 for a coffee is crazy. Come on. Remember when Dan and Jake got sued? Yeah, me too. Well, a member of their lawyer dream team was Matt Bruenig. He was specifically over their case for the NLRB, which, to my knowledge, is still going on. But he's a great source on law stuff, and he co-hosts the Bruenigs podcast, and he brings us some audio in an audio grab bag, plus we've got Trump and DeChambeau golfing. Here's Bruenig on with us from our Friday episode in the Den with 690 Austin.
All right, audio grab bag. What do you have for us today?
All right, so first up we have Okay, yes, we have. This was kind of Biden's one of his last public appearances before they sent him out, to the farm or whatever. And it was the NATO conference, and he was out here going to show his vitality leading the NATO conference. And he finishes by introducing Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, this way.
And I commend all the nations that stepped up when it counted to stand with Ukraine. I've said before, Russia will not prevail in this war. Ukraine will prevail in this war, and we'll stand with them every single step of the way. That's what the compact says, loudly and clearly. And now I want to hand it over to the president of Ukraine, who has as much courage as he has determination. Ladies and gentlemen, President Putin.
Ouch.
President Putin. You can beat President Putin. President Zelensky. I'm so focused on beating Putin,
yeah.
I don't worry about it.
Sure.
Anyway, Mr. President, I'm better. You are
Yes.
a hell of a lot better.
Anyway.
Zelensky, I'm better. That's all I could come up with. What do you say, though?
At least he caught his own error a few seconds later.
Yeah.
So that's true, yeah. That's an improvement,
he's
definitely, over
he's not
some
all,
of his other
he's
statements.
not all gone, folks.
Yeah, and at this time, him catching his error a few seconds later didn't involve him realizing that a person in a wheelchair actually can't stand up.
Yeah, well.
God love you.
It caught it on his own. That's great.
Yeah, he's no FDR at Pearl Harbor.
It was a big moment in American history.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
All right, next up, we have, I saw this on TikTok, and of course it reminded me of the old Bob and Dan homophobic days, and remind me of Jake. I always wanted to talk about, what is it? Surge, Red Dye 6, whatever. Yellow 5, whatever.
Yeah, it would shrink your
various high school ephemera. He's very, very fixated on his high school days. He's one of those kind of guys.
Yep, for sure.
And so I figured we could go through this. And then, I also wonder about the legal implications of playing this on the show. But we can listen to it first.
And we're back again with a list of things you would get called gay for if you were in middle school in the early 2000s.
What?
Let's get into it. First thing is if you actually had a girlfriend. It's so gay. I mean, you're telling me I got to play N64 by myself now because you want to go off and be with some girl? Gay. It was time to get in the pool during summertime and you swam with your shirt on. So gay. Let me see those nipples, Jimmy. If you walked around the hallway, two-strap in your backpack. Come on, dude.
Yeah.
What's in the backpack that's so heavy that you need both shoulders to carry it? All your fucking books? Gay. You didn't run the hallways like an absolute menace, telling every person you came in contact with to suck it. Gay. If you didn't get free lunch, you're suspect, pal. You're telling me your parents can afford to spend $2.25 every day so that you can eat this cardboard pizza and milk at 11:30 in the morning? Pretty gay, pal. If you and your friends were playing basketball and you yelled foul for pretty much any reason, super gay.
The genius thing about, is it just like a radio show?
This guy's just sitting in his car making TikTok content.
Oh, okay, but I
yeah.
thought maybe somebody recorded it in their car coming through the radio. But
no.
The great thing about this bit is the guy is shrouding it in, these are the things that you would have been called gay for back then, but he's really just giving his opinion.
Yeah, no, that's how he can get out of it.
Yeah, he provided a little...
I'm a sociologist of homophobia.
Yeah, I'm doing an ethnography on high school hallways.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Although...
Now, can we play this? Is this too, is this ticket IP? I don't know. I don't know how long,
They're can you do gay not gay?
Can you do gay not gay?
Yeah, and would that be in court where they're like, look, they can't do gay not gay. We own that.
I would love to see that. I'd love to be like, no, we came up with calling things gay, and
that's right. And we own it.
People would be confused. They'll think they're listening to the ticket. And,
yeah.
What are we doing?
Okay.
Well, it's not us, it's him.
Yeah. And finally?
Finally, we have. I struggled because I felt like I had to do 3. I don't know why. And so I found I was trying to come up with stuff. Coach Jason Brown, he's really funny.
Matt's obsessed with Coach Jason Brown.
He watches his YouTube show. Or?
Yeah. You should watch his YouTube show. 3 hours, just pure uncut Jason Brown. He was on Pat McAfee.
No way.
As well. Yeah. Check that out. He was complaining about his speech being in NCAA college football 2025 and not getting paid for it.
Oh.
So I just was like, let me find the funniest video that I've seen in a long time. And we've got David, is it Guetta? I don't know. He's
David
some
Guetta.
popular
The DJ?
Guetta. Yeah. Very popular DJ. And during COVID, and this was a perfect time for it, he did this, raising money for whatever, COVID. He gives this set, and it was the day after I think George Floyd was killed by the police.
You don't know how many times I've watched this.
And so he's like, all right, let me make something for George Floyd, and this is what he came up with.
In Matt's email, he was indicated. You said this is the funniest thing you've ever seen,
dude. I countless times I've watched this. He's on a rooftop, and it's like it's like in
New
Manhattan
York City for some reason.
Yeah, and it's like shot real well, like drone type footage, and he's all hot and he's up there vibing, and he's foreign, which helps.
They cut to random soccer players who are like streaming in on their phone. Weirdly, on the side you have this list of sponsors that pops up, and it's HP followed by Major League Soccer. Like, what's going on? I don't understand any of this. I also didn't know who he was before then, but it just popped on the timeline, and it's one of those things, occasionally, like, I've never seen anything like this before.
So he's a DJ?
Oh yeah, like a world famous, but he's European club DJ.
Okay, he's a club DJ outside.
Yeah, on a rooftop during COVID.
Hi, people. United at home. The world is going through difficult times, and America too, actually.
Actually.
So last night, I knew we were gonna do this, and I made a special record. So this record is in honor of George Floyd. And I really hope we can see more unity and more peace when already things are so difficult. So, shout out to his family.
Oh, shout out. And if you think there's going to be like real lyrics.
So even though we face difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream. It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream. I have a dream.
They have these people dancing to it as well.
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up, live out the true meaning of
These curved monitors in front of them with just random
just dancing to MLK.
Okay.
Man, I saw one version of this. Do you follow Crack Connoisseur, Bruenig?
No, I don't.
He did an edit where when the beat drops, it's just ba-da-dum, 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 bum, bum. It's just the NFL music. Oh, God, that's so good. That's so good.
And he's somehow blameless because of the accent. You're like, okay, he doesn't get it.
Yeah. Yeah. And America, too.
The world and America.
That's so good. All right, well, I have some audio to play for you guys. You want to do that here?
Yeah.
So, Bryson DeChambeau kind of had a weird career arc, right? He went from, like, boy, everybody's interested in this guy to boy, everybody hates this guy, and now I think people like him again. I think.
Yes.
Probably because he's not as yoked.
Yeah.
Once he lost, like, 30 pounds of muscle and looks like a normal ripped guy now.
Yeah.
But he will still talk to you like about 3D printing his clubs and science.
Live guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Probably one of the ones that said he'd never go.
Okay.
So he has this thing on his YouTube channel. It's called Break 50. And it's for the Wounded Warrior Project. So what he does is, and I'm not like golf guy by any means, but he plays with a partner, and I guess they kind of play best ball, Blake. Is that what it looks like to you? Sometimes they'll use his drive, but sometimes they would use Trump's, and sometimes Trump would hit from where they would both hit from the same place from Bryson's drive.
Scramble.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he gets a partner. He's done this with like Paige Spiranak. He's done this with even Sergio Garcia. And the idea is you've got to get through 18 holes in the scramble to, I guess, 50. Right? So 22 under par or 21 under par. I think at this course it might have been a par. It was 70 was par. So that's the idea. And if they can break 50, then they donate X amount more money. They donate money per birdie and per eagle each hole. Kind of got the drift? Mm-hmm. So when he plays with Trump, now this was before Biden dropped out, obviously.
Did you say they play from the Reds?
They did play from the Reds this time.
Okay. Oh, normally they...
No, him and Sergio said they played from the Whites.
Oh, okay.
This time they played from the Reds because I really think they wanted it to happen.
Wait, is the Reds the toughest?
The ladies' tees.
Oh, okay.
And Trump is old as hell, so I mean...
What's Whites? Isn't there like a real tough...
Yeah, Whites is amateur. Blues is whatever. I guess men.
Yeah.
But then black, the tips are the blacks.
Okay, so but the red is the ladies.
The red is the ladies' tees. Right. So for Bryson...
He's driving the green on almost every single par 4.
And he's not having to hit drivers.
He's hitting a 3-wood and reaching the green at 315 yards
it's a 300-yard
par 4.
par 4 that he's... Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how they can make it close.
Yeah. But nobody's done this yet. Even when they did it with Sergio, and I think they said they played from the Whites, they haven't done it because putting, basically.
Yeah, I mean, to break, yes. I think they said they needed 6 eagles and birdie the rest, which is insane.
And par 3 is the worst part of this.
Yeah.
Because even if you drive the green, you're probably going to have to 2-putt. So the par 3s really screw them. The par 5s where they're trying to make up. And this is at one of Trump's courses, and, you know, it's shot real dude perfecty. They've got a ton of cameras out there. They got Bryson's bros out there. And let's just start with this so you can kind of set the tone for what Trump's going to be saying all day.
This is going to be one of the greatest rounds of golf ever played.
Right. That's in the intro. That is in the intro. So now they're on the range warming up.
So he's not setting the bar low.
No, it's going to be one of the greatest rounds of golf ever played. They're on the range warming up, and obviously Bryson is just a freak show out there, and Trump is hitting as well. And I'm just going to tell you out of the gate, his swing and his stroke putting look very cartoonish, like he's doing it real fast, almost like Jair kind of, you know, like weep, 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 weep. But he's a pretty damn good golfer.
Trump. That was my takeaway.
Like I would have paid $99.95 to watch him go, in a match against Biden because he would have annihilated him.
Yeah, Biden was talking tough.
Yeah.
No,
but Trump does golf all the time.
Yeah.
Like that was a big thing when he was president.
Yeah.
From what I saw, I mean, Trump hit nearly every fairway.
Yeah.
He drilled a couple putts.
Yeah.
And
I don't know what you're going to get to.
You never hear that Biden is out golfing.
No.
Like you hear he's falling off a bike.
And just to let you know how annoying this is, like, you know that, what's his name? Flipowski Bruenig? Like he's a...
Kyle... Is that it?
Yeah, like he's a guy who's always posting Trump stuff.
Yeah. I know
some politics guy.
Oh, the basketball guy?
No.
Filipowski?
Yeah, Filipowski or something. He's a guy who anytime
I see it on Twitter a lot.
There's a gaffe or something, he's, you know.
Oh, he's an anti-Trump guy?
Oh, yeah. And it was funny.
Ron Filipowski.
There you go. So what was funny about this is after this got posted, he put together like a montage and said, you know, hey, the supposed, you know, club champion putting on a clinic putting. And it was just like Trump barely missing from 15 feet.
Okay.
And they put this together like, look, this guy sucks at golf. I'm like, those are not putts an average person or even a good golfer just sinks. But they were trying to dunk on him. And it's like, dude, did you watch this? Because he's a good golfer. So they're at the range, and Trump is watching Bryson. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it in the audio, but Trump is out of breath immediately. So on the range, he is huffing and puffing, and he's sweating real bad. He looks awful, because
he's 80.
I know, but I'm saying when you see him on TV, sometimes they can like doll him up in a way that it sort of looks okay.
Yeah,
you can't hide from the humidity.
No, he looks old.
Man,
I'll
is
take
that
that.
over the net? That's long.
I'll get it over.
It's very long, folks. It's very long.
So he already did a Gillis style Trump there. It's very long, folks. Very long.
Yeah. We don't see it around. We don't see that around here.
It's Trump.
You're ready. You
Come on,
are ready. Let's do it.
Come on, Parser. Let's go.
Jeez.
That's so. Look at that shot. How good is that?
We're ready to go.
Oh, it's crazy. It's crazy.
That's crazy.
And what's funny is they were, at least on the video that I saw, Trump's hitting his wedge, kind of old man, just it'll go 90 yards. And then they cut to Bryson driving it 370. It's like
it's
the
funny.
tale of two. Yeah.
But yeah, they call each other partner the whole time. It gets really annoying. I'm sure you'll hear it a lot in this audio, but this is them on the first tee.
That's a golf thing.
Yeah.
See the hole?
Oh, that's beautiful. I love it. Wow.
So Bryson is also, through this whole thing, having to act very impressed by Trump's golf course. Because Trump the whole time is like, look at this hole. Beautiful hole.
This golf course is something else. We'll let you lead off there, partner.
Lead off, okay.
Let's see, smoke a good one here. Beautiful. Right at the flag. That's
good.
awesome. Great shot. Partner, that's what I need out of you all day today.
Partner.
Yeah.
If you thought he was going to get out of here without referencing the golf talk at the debate, you're wrong.
Great shot. That's how you do it right there. Gosh.
You think Biden can do that? About golf. Can you believe it?
Hold on, let me back it up just a little bit so you can hear
You think Biden can do that? I don't know. We had an argument about golf. Can you believe it?
I saw
Come on,
on
partner.
CNN.
I don't even know if Bryson can do that.
I don't think I could do that. If President Trump gets inside of me, I don't know what's going on.
Little dirty sound there that I didn't know was a golf term.
Yeah.
Gets inside of me?
Yeah. But they said that a lot.
Who's inside of who? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Anything back?
with a shorter putt?
Yeah, just closer to the pin.
Yeah, your approach shot, yeah.
Yeah. So in between, tee shots and getting to where they are on the fairway, and then from hole to hole, they're in the cart together, and they have a camera affixed in the cart so you can record the conversations between world-class interviewer Bryson DeChambeau and former President Donald Trump.
Top 5 songs of all time.
Yeah.
Do you have that?
Well, I have a great playlist.
Playlist?
I have a playlist that's...
What do you got here?
So this is stuff that wouldn't have happened years ago. This is all good stuff. It's too old for you, but I will tell you.
What's your favorite? Frank Sinatra, right?
Well, I have a lot of Frank Sinatra. Yeah. We'll play this when we're finished breaking this record, if that ever happens.
Time to say goodbye.
Fake laugh.
I love it. I love it.
Nice and soothing, right?
It is calming as ever.
Step Brothers.
Pour latte.
I'll take it.
There aren't many people in the world can hit a 5-iron.
That's right.
All right, partner, good shot.
So he kind of did the Bible thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your favorite
He gave him
Bible verse?
How about 5? How
All
about
of it.
1?
All of it.
Yeah.
How about your favorite song?
Never
Top
even
5 songs. Yeah. Songs.
Let me
many
just
songs.
turn up this classical
Just
music.
Good ones.
And then the funny thing there is I couldn't find it, but there are so many different remixes on the internet of what happens when he reaches down to turn on. It's like, it's just one of those days when you don't want to wake up. It's like Biscuit. Yeah, this one's really long, so we don't need to play it. Here's another talk about the course, and we get a little bit of Trump's basically an arborist.
And there's something nice about it. Look at that stuff. See that just grows? See the trees in there? They grow naturally. They grow naturally. You can take them, put them out here. You have the nicest trees in the country.
Unbelievable.
That's a maple right there.
I love it.
It just grows.
Yeah.
It's a very vibrant part of the world. This man can putt.
I left that in there for you.
They grow naturally. How do trees...
You didn't have to tell them.
How do the trees in your yard grow?
You don't have to yell at them. I did that for a while, and it didn't make any difference. You just put them in and they just grow.
Just water?
I don't even know what this one is, but it is labeled water. So maybe I just thought it was funny anytime I hear him say water.
Yep, I wanted to make that one.
I've had a lot of guys tell me you're the best putter, your friends. That's a big one. That was an important one.
Huge. We're 12 under through 10. Oh, it's a par 5. How far is it over the water on the left?
Water, dead left. See the
Water. Here's another hard-hitting question from Bryson in the cart.
So what do you love about golf so much? Why do you like it so much?
I just find it very relaxing. I play it well. You know, for a guy that plays as little as I do, I won so many club championships.
Wait a second. I thought he's well known for playing golf all the time.
Yeah, they all play golf a lot. He plays, I think his rounds have been clocked at more than any. He owns like 5 golf courses.
Yeah.
He's there all the time. And he's trying to let you know that, look, I kill it, which is crazy because I never play.
I play it well. You know, for a guy that plays as little as I do, I won so many club championships. And I play against guys that play all the time, but I'm straight. I hit it straight. I hit it onto the green. I putt well.
Yep. It's an enjoyable
sport. And a lot of guys don't. And you know what it does? It takes everything off your brain.
Well, most people say mind, but in this case, it takes everything off your brain.
I did see some photos like of him. He will pull the cart right up next to the green.
Yeah, it's his course.
Yeah,
he can drive. He can drive on the green.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know like totally what the rules are for tap-ins and whether you have to do them or not, but he ain't doing them.
A lot of gimmies.
Oh, there's a lot of. As I learned the term "good" the other day.
Yeah, you want to
good. So yeah, he's doing that all throughout this thing. Another question from Bryson.
Who's the most impressive celebrity that you've met personally?
Well, I know, I guess all celebrities in terms of a certain age, but I knew them all, and Sinatra. The only one I didn't know was Elvis. I never met Elvis. Elvis was one of the greats, right? But Michael Jackson very well, lived in one of my buildings, had his honeymoon at Mar-a-Lago. All really very different people.
Yeah.
That was a big one we had there, huh?
So he never said his favorite.
No, he doesn't.
Kind of the same thing.
Yeah. He just said he didn't meet Elvis.
I know
all of them.
Mel Hall lived in Trump Towers when he was in New York, so maybe him.
He's not claiming that one. And then this is our last one, which is interesting because you're right. I don't know why I would rule that out. I don't know how many pro golfers, like what the average number of hole-in-ones you might have had in your life. It's kind of luck to an extent. So you'll hear here that Bryson says he's had one in his life.
Yeah, like even the pros might not have any.
Yeah. So tell me if you call bullshit on this.
You have a hole-in-one story? A good hole-in-one story?
No, but I've made 8.
You made 8 of them?
Yeah.
That's 8. What was your favorite hole-in-one?
There's no way, dude. We'll play the whole clip, but there's just...
That is so Kim Jong-un or Il.
Yeah. And I can't remember if it's in the audio or not, but Bryson's like, yeah, I've had one, because he almost had one from the Reds, obviously, in this tournament. So I was like,
you have a hole-in-one story? A good hole-in-one story?
No, but I've made 8.
You made 8 of them?
Yeah,
That's
I've
awesome.
had 8.
That's
awesome. What's your favorite hole-in-one?
The last one I made with Ernie Els.
Did you?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
It was a 5-iron. It was 188 yards in Palm Beach. And I hit it sort of into a little wind. I mean, I hit it perfectly. And Ernie was there, and we had some actually great players. Gene Sowers, he was a senior tour player. He won the Senior U.S. Open a few years ago. Yeah. Ken Duke.
I know Ken very well.
And Geddes was there. We had, they were all except for me. And I got a hole-in-one, and it was quite good.
That's special.
Come on, partner. So
it's just so awkward. Yeah, I've had 8. I know you've had 1, and you're able to, drive the ball 375 yards. But I've had 8 more or 7 more hole-in-ones than you. So they didn't break it. They tied their record though. So they got 250. And no one's broken it, but it's a wild ride, man. I got to be honest with you.
Done. We did it.
I got to be honest with you. It was great to cut this up for the show, but I enjoyed watching it. It was an insane ride. Like, Bryson's a weird cat anyways.
Was this on a network?
No, it's on Bryson's YouTube channel.
I watched it on Bryson's Snapchat.
Because can you imagine? This would
I would
why
thought so.
Why didn't they put it on like the Tiger Challenge? Tiger used to do this every year.
I don't know. Maybe it's easier to donate if it's on YouTube because you can just click right there. They have a donate button. I don't know.
Like, yeah, I guess
Bryson's in some sort of challenge with another golfer to grow his YouTube channel or something. I don't know what the hell's going on, but it's an hour and it's really, really funny.
Everybody's trying to grow their YouTube channel. We started. No one was doing this before last year.
No,
that's true. Where are you guys at? How many subs you guys?
Oh man, so many. It's so many. It's hard to
12K.
It's hard to. I want to be more vague and just. It's you wouldn't believe it.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this: we have 488,000 fewer subscribers than the trash truck video channel that my son watches.
Well, that's hard to compete with.
Yeah, it really is.
My YouTube has 5,500 subscribers.
Oh, you'll get
about
there.
That. I haven't posted a video in many, many months, so adjusted for effort.
You're kind of routing us.
That's right. It's like the amount of golf Trump plays and how good he is.
Right.
That's what Matt's saying.
Effort adjusted.
Effort adjusted.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I had for you boys.
Well, thanks, Matt Bruenig, for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you guys. Hey, one more thing. More Danny.
Okay, we're working on it.
More Danny.
Okay. We're working on it.
No one ever asked for more us. All right, thanks, man.
All right, bye.
Go subscribe to the Bruenigs. The all-new Prosper Ford is open now. 18 acres, 80,000 square feet of new and used sales facilities. Hi, I'm Dan McDowell. And I've been buying vehicles from Chaz Gilmore for over a decade now. I actually have bought 4 vehicles from Chaz over the years. Chaz owns Grapevine Ford. He owns Crest Nissan. And he has built from the ground up with his own 2 hands Prosper Ford. He probably had a gold shovel and a ribbon and giant scissors when he first broke ground. It's a gorgeous showroom, state-of-the-art service department. Every aspect of the dealership was built Ford proud. Chaz has a commitment to excellence that includes impeccable service after the sale, and you can do the same now by going to the all-new Prosper Ford. It's been built Ford proud, like I said. They're set 380 in the tollway, also at prosperford.com. They have one of the largest Ford new vehicle inventories in North Texas. Right now, no service wait times. Walk-ins are welcome. You could also schedule an appointment using their easy online tool. Again, it is Prosper Ford, 380 and the tollway, or check out prosperford.com.
Our news this week comes from our Tuesday episode with Lawrence and Danny. Here is some local news and a check-in with Hood County.
Yeah.
How about a little news?
Jake
Let's do it.
with the Dumb Zone News.
It's not Jake, though. It's Blake.
Just me. Did you guys feel the earthquake last night?
Nope.
Didn't even hear about it.
It rained like a bitch in my neighborhood, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did get a little rain.
I was at Guitar Center and I had to just stay there.
Glad I mowed the lawn Monday.
You mow your own lawn?
Yeah.
Peasant.
I like it.
That's what everybody says that can't afford to get somebody else to do it.
No, I like competing for yard of the month or whatever.
You can't afford $30 every 2 weeks to have Pablo come out and run a mower across your yard.
No,
I just don't want to maintain the lawnmower.
I'm the dork that uses a push mower, like the real mower.
I've got one of those for
Oh,
maintenance.
Wait, what do you mean?
Way to be a man.
With the cylinder with the blades.
Yeah.
Not the. There's no motor.
No.
Like the 50s lawnmower that has the wheel.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I have one of those too.
The TV Land lawnmower.
It's supposed to be better for your lawn because it doesn't
It's a
have
better cut.
It doesn't have a harsh blade like cutting. It cuts it more like a scissor, and so it just scissors the grass going through.
You know, you ever scissored some grass?
Yeah. Boy, I'd like to see that. Pull up my browser history.
Apparently, it's better for the grass, and then it leaves better thatch, and I don't have to worry about gas or plugging in a battery. But yeah, damn. This earthquake hit about 200 miles west of Fort Worth, and apparently people felt it in McKinney, but I guess I was just jamming last night in Grand Prairie. I didn't feel this at all.
No, I didn't. I live close to McKinney, and I did not register an earthquake at all.
200 miles west of Fort Worth?
I was at Austin Avenue drinking. If you're ever there, come over, say hi.
Yeah.
I'm crying.
Are they fracking?
Sliders.
They didn't say anything like that. It was a 4.9 magnitude earthquake, which I guess is big.
Do you know where the epicenter was? Does it say what county?
Hermleigh, Texas.
You remember the earthquakes of like 10 years ago? All the fracking around Texas Stadium?
The Irving earthquakes.
And they were like, no, it's not fracking. And then they stopped, and there's no more earthquakes.
What was the name of the town?
Hermleigh.
Hermleigh?
Leigh.
Oh, Leigh. Where is that?
I don't know. But yeah.
That's
200 miles west of Fort Worth.
Okay. Wow. Yeah,
Can I give you some breaking news?
Sure.
Hell yeah.
Another spam call?
No. Do you have any news about anyone that works at the University of Texas?
No.
Okay, breaking news.
Okay.
Ooh.
Texas assistant coach Jeff Banks and Danielle Thomas were married. If you remember, a 2021 lawsuit alleged that Thomas's pet monkey bit a child in Banks's backyard on Halloween.
Pole assassin.
In the suit, Thomas was ID'd as Pole Assassin. That's her stage name as a dancer.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God,
Jeff Banks, of course, is the guy who does recruiting for the University of Texas.
And is special teams coach.
Yes. And, so she had a pet monkey.
She did.
She had a pet monkey.
The pole assassin.
Yes, she's a stripper.
Okay.
I love
who had
somebody
a pet
being
monkey.
like, is that pole assassin? No, that's the monkey. That's my girlfriend. Pole
Yeah.
assassin.
The monkey is Gigi. Yeah.
Is that
In
right?
fact, I think... Yes, I think when...
Jake loves this story.
When Dominic Robinson was going around for recruiting visits with Deuce, he told them he needs to meet the monkey. Because when you have he's a 5-star tight end prospect. That one of our friends, his son, I met him at a Clemson game, and that's why I got to go meet Dabo Sweeney. I was in his office because he was being recruited. And yes, so they will give, they roll out the red carpet for you. And apparently Texas didn't let him meet the monkey. That's why he went to USC instead.
So this guy married that gal?
He just married her this weekend.
There was a time in my life where if that was my narrative, people would have been like, yeah, that all tracks.
Yeah.
That I married
Stripper.
a stripper that has a monkey.
So now he has a
People would
step
believe
monkey.
It's a step monkey.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, man. Is she still pole assassin, or is she a straight woman now?
She retired?
Yeah.
I would bet she's not dancing anymore. Those assistant coaches make some pretty good money.
Yeah, no, he does.
But what if she does it for the love of the game?
She might. Maybe she's got a pole at home.
No way they got married at the courthouse, right? There was some extravagant wedding somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know. It says this is again. Details are still trickling in about where exactly they got married. We'll continue to follow this story, though.
Where did you read this? Because I'm trying to think of if any other special teams coach got married that's not news. But because it's him...
Jake sent it to me. It was on Twitter, and people are putting together that they got married because it's on her Instagram.
Oh.
It's news because of her.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
Poleassassin.com. If you want the whole story.
Well,
it says love in the club. So
Okay.
maybe that's just the theme of their wedding, and yes, they got married in a club.
Very fitting.
Yeah.
You've got to be really good at your job for them to be like, hey, this is my girl, Pole Assassin. That's her monkey. And they're like, yeah, you still work here.
Yeah. He must be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He helped him get what's his name? Manning, right? Arch.
Yeah. Who changed his mind. He's in the new NCAA video game. Remember he was holding out for some reason?
Oh, really?
Yeah. But I think they paid him more than what they were paying other people for him to be in the game.
Okay. We can all be bought.
Yes, we all have a price. So the Cowboys are heading to Oxnard today. Jerry Jones is in Texarkana in federal court.
That's right. Tomorrow was supposed to be the opening press conference.
It was supposed to be the state of the team.
And they've postponed that to Saturday.
Yes.
What'd Jerry do?
Jerry is countersuing the mom of his out-of-wedlock child.
Okay.
So in the 90s, Jerry apparently knocked up an airline stewardess and has been trying to hide this kid from everyone. But it came out, a couple years ago that people kind of made the connection there. And they want to do a DNA test to prove he's the father. They're out to get his money and the estate, but he is countersuing, saying that they broke their disclosure agreement.
Yeah, they had a non-disclosure agreement. Mm-hmm. And he's been paying them every year.
Yep. Oh, he's been paying them.
Yeah. A good amount.
Yeah.
Because they were on a reality show called Big Rich Texas or something like that.
Correct.
And
they just wanted more.
But they never really overtly or publicly were able to say this is Jerry Jones' kid. But everybody that lived around them knew. Because after the story came out, we got a ton of pictures and emails just from her 16th birthday party. Jerry had a Range Rover, a brand new Range Rover delivered. And everybody knew it was from Jerry Jones, and she knew, and all the neighbors knew, but they just couldn't ever publicly say it. And then when she turned 18, or maybe it's 21, anyway, yes, she is then suing Jerry Jones just to admit that he's her father.
Right. She wants to know her daddy. That's her claim. You said that the courts decided that they threw out the case because they determined that she did, in fact, break the NDA, right?
But she, I don't know. That might still be going on.
I think
they
dropped it.
This is the countersuit.
And now he's countersuing her.
She claimed, though, that she, as a baby, couldn't sign an NDA.
Well, yeah,
and that once she turned 18, she's not under any legal obligation to not say that, she wanted publicly to declare this is my dad and I want you to admit it.
I mean, he's a piece of shit for not... I don't know.
I'm against you on this.
No. I'm going to say he's kind of sorry for just owning up to the financial aspect of it.
I think he's great for that.
I think he's great for doing that, for sure. But if it's true that this is his daughter, I just don't know as a man how you just go through life and ignore any type of acknowledgement or any type of personal connection with this person, knowing that they're miles away from you and you're their dad. And there's no question. You're admitting that you're their dad by owning up to your financial aspect of it, which he did, and you got to commend him for that. But I think there's more to that, more to your responsibility to a kid than just writing a check. And
I'm just going to disagree because
that's fine.
I had a biological father that lived somewhere in the same region for my whole life, younger life, I guess. But I never knew him, never met him, and
same.
He did not give a cent.
Same.
To my mom.
Yeah.
And if we could have been getting $200,000-$300,000 a year, whatever they're living nice. They're living in.
Okay. Let me say then Jerry's half of a piece of shit, where maybe your dad was an entire piece of shit.
I just think that would be fine with me. I would have, and maybe it's all relative because it's what you did know and what you you see what she had.
Totally.
I'd have taken that a million times over a million.
I didn't get a Range Rover.
I've never had, and you are different because you didn't know your biological mother, and then you had some desire to meet her. Mm-hmm. Whereas I've never felt that at all. I've never felt the desire I need to just see what's he. I'm more interested in his physical history or
medical history.
Yeah. Let's dissect him.
Am I about to die? All that. I'd love to know that. All the males in his family lived to be 110. It's okay, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
But So anyway, I've never thought that at all.
See, I grew up like Dan, but I'm with you, Danny, about with Jerry. It's dude, you know how bad the Cowboys have been for this long? Jerry, we would have forgiven you for this.
Right.
You know what I mean? What was he afraid? Because his wife was going to find out? She has to know. What was he afraid of?
It's just funny if you're going to be an absent father, just go all in,
Yeah.
Just if you're going to deny it publicly, then it's just so funny how that guy can maneuver his life when honestly transparency would be the best play because nobody gives a shit.
Yeah,
nobody's going to judge you.
Probably some financial reason though. If he was to admit it,
that's what I think. I think
she'd be in line for something.
Yeah,
somehow.
now she's in charge of merchandise, and the other kids don't want that.
Oh, jeez. Whatever, man. I
feel like billions.
But in this article, it says Jerry still denies being her father.
Right. Well, that was the thing. She was trying to sue for a DNA test or something.
I love that. I'm not the father. I love you, baby girl.
Yeah.
Here's your check.
Yeah, here's your check. Yeah.
But I'm not your dad.
But they
That's a
can
dark
probably
thing.
say, look, I signed we did the NDA and paid her just so that, but I'm not her dad. I'm just such a cool guy. And maybe, what if that's the truth? What if he actually isn't her father, but...
There's only one way to find out.
Yeah. Then he would...
I think he's trying to play out the string here and just keep it in court for many, many years.
Probably.
And then eventually he won't be here.
Yeah.
Sad story out of Fort Worth as a man jumped into the Trinity River to save a child. The child lived. He did not.
Sacrifice bond.
Dan has drops.
Which we've all probably gone through that scenario of like being the hero.
Jumping into the Trinity River.
Or just doing anything, but you kind of expect to live.
Yeah. No high five at the end of that one.
No.
You jumped into the Trinity, you said?
Yeah.
What's a kid doing in the Trinity River? That thing's filthy.
What's anybody doing in it?
Yeah. Trying to build immunity?
Maybe they're doing the Olympic opening ceremony there.
This happened at Gateway Park on Sunday. But yeah, that's terrifying. Just trying to be.
It
a
had
good
to be
dude.
done, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you had to do it. How did he? I mean, if you get her and you get her out, how did you die?
How old was the kid?
This doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it doesn't say.
Fake news.
But his body was found in deeper water in the Trinity. So I guess the message is,
don't save people.
Yeah.
I think that we probably all think that we're stronger swimmers than we actually are.
Yeah.
That's probably some of it.
Yeah.
But
you think, I can swim. I've swam in the ocean before.
Yeah.
When's the last time you really went on a real fucking swim?
It's also weird to me when people die in like pools. It's like he died in the pool. I'm like, what? Like remember FOE that happened?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. They closed it down for a whole weekend.
I know. The whole
I was
weekend.
back the next.
They honored. It could be also, how old was this guy? Look, what else? Was that a picture of him?
Don't know his
40,
identity.
50, something like that?
Oh, they don't even share his information. Like the man's a hero.
I know.
They're not even gonna...
But he goes in and exerts all of his energy getting this kid to shore. Current kind of washes him away a little bit, and he just has nothing left to stay above water.
Who's going to jump in for me?
Yeah,
right.
No one? Oh, no one?
Nobody. Nobody.
So, did you grow up and being told you can't go in the pool until a half hour after you eat?
Yes.
Yeah, same.
And it was always that was the threat of like
never adhered to
something will
that.
happen and then you could drown.
You get cramps.
Cramps.
It was always
that always seemed ridiculous. Like this is the pool.
This is 5. Yeah,
it's right
5
here.
feet.
I believe it's a myth, by the way.
We're all here.
I think it's been proven to be a myth.
It was like just to make us sit there and get mad and upset and antsy and like just to test our discipline. I don't know.
Yeah, I never really adhered to that.
No.
Same.
But could you imagine like you said, you've exerted all your effort, you have no stamina left, you just know what's about to happen, and in those 15, 20 seconds you're just like, yeah, this is it.
That's a hard last thought.
That's terrible.
Your last thought is, God, I shouldn't have saved that fucking kid. That's a hard way to go out,
I think that's the number one thing you've got to remember if you're in water and you feel like you're in trouble. I think avoiding panic has got to be the hardest thing, but your brain has got to override that because you can be dead tired and float.
Yeah.
You can.
That's true. That's very true.
And
so you're victim blaming. Sorry.
What's that?
Yeah.
No, I'm saying I just got through saying it's got to be an incredibly difficult thing to do to override that fear and panic message.
Do you tell the kid when they get older?
What's that?
Do you tell the kid as they get older, like, hey, you won't remember this very much?
Yeah,
but
you better.
When you were a child,
Yeah.
you murdered a man.
Wouldn't you bring that every time they're talking back to you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
You're lucky to be here.
So today, Barbie is unveiling its first blind Barbie. And also its first black Barbie with Down syndrome.
Is this real?
It's a real article.
You know, I watched that Marvel show recently.
Can I see the picture?
Damn.
So blind Barbie's here. She's got a little walking stick.
Yeah.
And a cute little skirt on. And then the black Barbie is got Down syndrome.
I'm just curious what Mattel's interpretation of Down syndrome is.
I do like that they tell you the price of the doll. Like, they're putting value on this.
It's more expensive.
Yeah, is it more expensive? It probably is.
I mean, how much is a Barbie? Like $11?
Yeah, I guess it's the same price then. $10.99.
I don't think we should know that.
I go to Target like every day, dude.
But if we knew what Barbie cost, isn't that a red flag?
Do you want more red flags? I've got a whole list of them. No, you go to the toy aisle. You have a 3-year-old. You're up and down toy aisles. You notice these things.
Did they got meth Barbie?
Missing a tooth.
The national
struggling through a comedy career.
Yeah.
The National Down Syndrome Society said we're thrilled to introduce a second Barbie doll with Down syndrome. I guess there's a white one too.
What? I can't see it. Is the face just messed up?
What do you mean by messed up?
Like, it's got Down syndrome looking. I mean, if there has to be a look to it, or they wouldn't make one, or they would just. Is it just the title on the box?
It's got to be a very small market, but I would imagine it's.
All right, give me my. Let me put my glasses on.
Yeah.
Let me get a. I mean, no.
Is the face sloped?
No, she just looks like.
Are the eyes messed up?
I mean, a beautiful little African American Barbie that looks like she might be a little Asian too.
Okay, so it's the eyes.
It's the eyes.
Okay.
I
mean, I didn't do this. They did this.
They're
the ones that did this.
This is woke Barbie.
Yeah.
What's
this is
next?
what Biden did to us.
Having this doll launched alongside the new Barbie doll with blindness marks another important step in expanding representation for the disability community. We are proud to partner with Barbie as they grow to reflect our diverse and beautiful world.
Does blind Barbie have like glasses and a dog?
Yeah, she has glasses and
a seeing eye dog would be great.
Is she hot?
Stick.
Hot?
It's pretty hot.
She is.
Pretty hot.
I mean, Down syndrome Barbie's kind of a smoke show or so.
Yeah, how can you really tell that
you
she's
can't?
blind? Yeah.
But yeah, you see her got a little walking stick.
Yeah.
Got a little walking stick. So if you're blind,
the doll was designed.
You have a blind Barbie doll. You can't really see the.
Yeah.
The doll was designed with an eye glaze facing slightly up and out to accurately reflect the sometimes distinct eye gaze of a blind individual.
All right, this feels so fake.
Yeah, yeah.
Is this a real story?
Yes.
Did you get ball sacked?
That's Fox 4 News.
I kind of hope so.
It feels insulting in some way. Like, can't you just give him a regular Barbie? I don't know.
You could make a regular Barbie, deaf Barbie, and just charge $5 more for it.
There's no Mexican superhero. Sometimes that bothers me.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Yeah, not one.
There's really not one?
Not one.
Not even Flash?
No.
No?
No.
You don't even speak Spanish.
Yeah, I know.
Why, all
so
of a
I
sudden
can go
now
watch
I'm a
the
Mexican?
movies. You know? I'm just saying that there's not one. You know? Like, I watched that Echo Marvel TV show, and the
Speedy
girl is...
Gonzalez.
Well, yeah, but that doesn't count.
He's like a fucking cool.
Yeah, okay, that's
cool
like
mouse.
that's like saying the Chihuahua from the Taco Bell commercials. You know, it's not a superhero. You know, it's yeah. I watched that Marvel Echo show.
So there's no Hispanic superhero.
And you've done your research on this?
I mean, I've looked into it. I'll say this: none of you can name one. We've got Superman over here, Wonder Woman on the wall. I mean, we're in an attic that could, with 4 guys that would know.
Well, we could all brainstorm and think of what the first Mexican superhero could be. Dan, you go first.
Yeah, Dan.
I think I should defer to Lawrence here.
But it's a creative think group. Come on.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I want him to struggle with employment. You know, just go against the grain. Go against the grain, you know?
Because they wouldn't expect that.
They wouldn't expect that. You know, you got to break these cliches, you know?
What were you thinking, Dan?
Do they have a Mexican Barbie?
Oh, they've got to, right?
I don't know. Let's see.
If they got to Down syndrome Barbie first, I'm going to be upset.
Okay, I'm seeing here that Ghost Rider is a Latino superhero.
Played by Nicolas Cage, Ghost Rider?
I don't know. I don't watch this shit.
It's, Mexican Barbie comes equipped with 4 little babies.
It does not say that.
See, we're allowed to say that, but I can't say that Down syndrome Barbie's face looks a little weird.
Mexican Barbie, a devout Catholic.
Yeah.
In our final story.
Okay, let's get to it.
Redbox has filed for bankruptcy, which
didn't see that coming.
Kind of thought would have happened a long time ago. Now, I still see them outside of CVS and Walgreens and whatnot, but I had no idea people were still using them.
I feel like sometimes the homeless by where I live sleep next to the Red Box because it like provides some heat.
It's a big fucking red pillow. A heated pillow with DVDs inside it.
It is. That's exactly what it is.
Because it's got lights,
like electricity.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You know,
it goes.
Yeah.
It's like a built-in
how did
sound
it survive
machine.
this long after Blockbuster's all closed?
But that's karma. That's what they did to Blockbuster.
What?
They
killed
just
it.
Made it more convenient.
There are still people that don't have any cable or streaming, but they still have like an old DVD player, and I think Redbox is like $1 to rent a movie, and that they're that either out of the advancement of modern tech or they can't afford it, but they can afford $1 a week to go rent whatever movies are in Redbox.
That was a huge player for me.
Redbox?
Yes.
Yeah. Never used one.
Yeah.
It was cool because like Blockbuster you didn't know until you got there, but Redbox you could see like if there was a game because they had video games too. You could see which Redboxes the game was in.
But I like the process. I like going to a bookstore. I like going to peruse things before I purchase them. The internet's just not the same.
Yeah, it's because it's unlimited.
Yeah.
You don't know where to start. It's a problem with the TV, too. There's a million shows and a million channels. You just don't know where to start. But when you had the TV Guide, you had 3 channels. You could just kind of look through there. It's like, okay, I'll watch Streets of San Francisco.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It's like, what do you want to watch? Well, it's 7 o'clock. So whatever plays at 7 o'clock.
Right.
That's about it.
And then do we have time for this? You have Sounder over there?
Oh, you want to do extra?
Yeah, I think we need to check in.
Okay. I guess so. Do I have a sounder? I do. Where did I put it? I have no idea. Oh, here we go.
Hi there, folks. It's time for Hood County News with Blake Jones.
Are you guys familiar with this?
No.
Yeah.
Thanks for stopping by Hood County.
Wait.
Y'all come back now.
We're gonna stay here for a minute. This is where I check the Hood County Breaking News Facebook page to see what's going on down in Hood County.
Okay.
For those that don't know, give us a geographical reference to where Hood County is.
What is it, like kind of south of Fort Worth, southwest of Fort Worth?
It's like Cleburne?
Granbury.
Granbury?
Granbury's a popular one.
Okay.
We just like to see what people are talking about.
And you're from there?
Nope. I'm just a big fan of their Facebook page.
Okay.
For instance, Diamond says, last chance, they found a white dog on Blueberry Trail.
Oh, my.
Cannot keep the dog because they have 3 already. Would rather not take it to a shelter. There is a family that wants this precious baby. If it is yours, please claim. If not, it leaves tonight. And they put a picture of the white dog up.
This is top news in Hood County.
Hadley
Says, how much rain did everyone get? I measured 1.1 inches.
How do you get the measurement?
Rain gauge.
Blake has one.
Go out there, take your pants off, just throw it in.
Blake has a rain gauge.
Yeah.
Oh, you do?
Well, I've got a fancy electric one now.
Someone sent it to us. Right?
Yeah.
You are so domesticated.
I got a weather
love
station.
it. Yeah.
But no, I used to go out with my grandpa. He'd just have a cup, like Mart.
Yeah.
See how much rain
I'm
you got.
39. I don't own an umbrella. I just sprint to the car. You know?
Mm-hmm. That's because you never think of buying an umbrella unless it's raining.
Yeah. Don't own one.
Train says to the good people of Tolar.
You have to be opposite of most people because I think most people have 20 umbrellas.
Yeah.
Or at least we do.
I don't have one.
Not a single one.
Huh.
Just put my shoulders up.
I'm too manly. Like last night when I was on my way into the Lindsey Sterling concert, it was raining on me. I didn't have an umbrella. That's how manly I was. To the good people of Tolar, be aware of the new traffic light that people are not stopping at. Every time I've been by there, I've seen at least 2 vehicles not even notice the signal. Someone's going to get hurt.
Okay, that's a great PSA.
That is a great PSA.
They have one traffic light.
Tommy puts up a picture of a bulldog and says, $5,000 reward to tell me where he is. Apparently, Tommy lost his dog and is offering $5,000 to find it.
That's like a year's salary in Hood County.
It also makes the way the post goes makes it sound like the dog committed some crime. It's like, tell me where he is. Tell me where he is.
This little son of a bitch.
Yeah, because what he took was worth way more than $5,000.
Right.
Sierra, 2 pitties, pit bulls, running down Skyfort Drive. Tried to get them, but they ran towards the back. Someone please get your babies. Pitties don't stand a chance.
That's a rough neighborhood.
Amanda says, I just found this bunny running loose in my pasture off Tin Top. He seems to be somewhat friendly. He's not in the best shape. He's covered in burrs and urine. Major ear mites that will require veterinary care. Poor little guy has seen better days.
In your meth days, did you ever wake up covered in burrs and urine?
I need to post this on Facebook right away.
Then you weren't partying hard enough, friend.
I found this bunny. I'm going to go inside.
Yeah, I mean, you have to. Do you find a bunny, or do you got to kind of track and chase? And
yeah,
seems like a bunny's pretty hard get.
Yeah.
Pretty hard get.
You got time to pass.
How do they know it was urine?
Yeah,
yellow. I don't know. Smelt
test.
bad.
Yeah.
All right, this is a confusing one from Lene because she's posting on someone else's behalf.
Oh, okay.
A drone was used to search for her dog last evening. Unfortunately, it was not found. They will continue the search today. She says her friend's Facebook account was suspended as she emotionally replied to rude, insensitive people that made very derogatory comments. She is actually a very loving and caring person. So this person puts out, hey, I'm missing my dog. And people are probably like, well, you idiot, probably shouldn't let him out. And then she just went off and got her Facebook suspended. And now she can't find her dog. Last one for you from Jimmy. I have a bull that got out in Bluffdale. 2481 and 67. If you see him, please call me. So if you've been driving down the road,
very descriptive,
Oh.
in Bluffdale, and you saw a bull, call Jimmy.
All right.
Where do these things come from? They're the Hood County Facebook page.
Thanks for stopping by Hood County. Y'all come back now.
Yeah, I'm good.
Hood County sounds like a terrible place to be a dog.
I think it sounds like a great place to be a dog because if you get lost, they're going to use a drone to find you.
Yeah, but they're not coming home. These dogs are not coming home.
Because there's bulls eating them.
Just about done here. And to close this out, here is Today in History from our Monday, July 22nd episode.
Brother. I thought I said baby a lot.
Well, you did.
Like,
Let's
is he going to
not
look
move on
back at
from
this
that.
and be like, oh, I can't believe I had a brother face?
No, he looked back at his brother phase and said, I need to bring this back.
Mm-hmm. If it ever left.
Will baby?
You should bring it back.
Will baby come back around?
Sure, baby.
Only one man.
Everything's cyclical. Today is Monday, July 22nd. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. On this day in 1796, Cleveland, Ohio, was founded by General Moses Cleveland. So,
I know.
there's like there's Native Americans living there, and
I thought it was invented by Moses Cleveland.
But
it's by Moses Cleveland.
Yeah.
He's the guy who invented Cleveland. Yeah.
So,
and then Tom Hanks was born there.
But you could just walk up back then, and
I think
there's
I'm
a bunch
gonna
of people
invent a
there,
town
and you're
here.
like, look, I have founded this town now. Well, no, wait. We've been here for 100,000 years. Who knows? I don't know. Nope.
What are you going to name it? I'm going to name it after me.
Yeah. Me-land. On this day in 1933, aviator Wiley Post completed the first solo flight around the world. It took him 7 days, 18 3/4 hours. So think about that when we're in an RV heading to California. Like, it's not that bad as this guy had it.
How often do you think you had to stop? Wait, did you say consecutive? I'm just thinking of fueling.
It just says first solo flight.
Yeah.
And it took 7 days.
I guess you just don't stop. I just would not have thought a plane of like.
You have to stop pretty often.
But then
you can't not stop for 7 days.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. That was dumb. But what I'm saying though is, I wonder how many times. Like, was he just kind of chipping away at it a little bit each day, and then taking his time by the pool?
Yeah, it stopped in at a Best Western.
That doesn't seem like it works to me.
Maybe he had some listeners along the way, like we do.
Mm-hmm.
No, I was not proposing mid-air refueling 100 years ago.
Where are we? On this day in 1957, Walter Morrison applied for a patent for a flying toy, which would become known as the Frisbee.
1957.
The
the Frisbee was invented.
And then they looked over at the Native Americans and they were like, we've been,
Yeah,
we've been throwing this thing all 200 years.
Native Americans played Frisbee golf. On this day in 1991, police in Milwaukee arrested Jeffrey Dahmer, who would confess to murdering 17 men and boys. Another thing, the man has it tougher in life than the female.
Yep.
On this day in 1992, Colombian drug lord Pablo Escobar escaped from his luxury prison near Medellin.
That wasn't the one where he was in the laundry basket, was it?
Possibly. He had one, too, where they just, built a tunnel.
They left him a motorcycle.
Was that a good show?
I liked it, but I didn't stick with it. I watched the first 2 seasons.
Me too.
But then I think they kind of changed it a little bit in the 3rd season to be El Chapo, maybe?
It's a great book about, is it called Killing Pablo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one where he's on the roof?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And on this day in 2019, Old Town Road remained at the top of the Billboard Hot 100 chart for a 16th week, which tied the record, which was set by Mariah Carey and Luis Fonsi.
Hey. Yeah, definitely a classic song of the summer.
Who's Fonzie?
That show.
Yep.
Watched a little Grease last night. Channel surfing.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
You just have to stop on it, don't you?
So
kind of, yeah.
He says, WNBA, no.
Red Sox, Dodgers, no.
I'm just saying earlier you were talking about the types of people who like, what was it, the WNBA and what was the second thing? If there's a lot of crossover.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. The point is there's a lot of crossover there with Grease too, bub.
My takeaway from the
one
segment that I watched, Danny Zuko is trying to play sports to impress Sandy.
Yeah.
He's never played baseball before. Walks up with a bat. The first time he swings, he laces one out to right field, but it was foul. And he said, nah, no more baseball because you flipped the umpire's face mask. If that was his first swing, he could have been the greatest baseball player ever.
He did rope one.
A little work in the cages, and all of a sudden he's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't know how to do anything.
Missed opportunity.
Didn't know which way to run. Birthdays today. Ezekiel Elliott.
He's going to be younger than
I
think.
29.
I swear to you, I was going to say 29. A lot of tread left on those tires then.
I can't believe he's back.
Yeah, you can. It all makes so much sense.
He's back.
Dude.
Get him on the RV.
It's going to be 2nd and 2. He's going to run for 4 yards, and he's going to do the feed me.
Did you guys say he's getting the first carry of the season?
Yes.
I did, yeah.
Like first play of the whole season?
Yes, of course.
The crowd.
Will he be center?
Well, they'll be in Cleveland.
2 consecutive plays.
What if that
where he's
becomes
the center?
like the new Landry shift? when they have a victory locked up, he snaps it to Dak and he just kneels the ball and they go to the handshakes.
So it's going to be Zeke and Rico Dowdle?
Yeah, they signed someone else, remember?
Ronald Jones?
Who's the scouts?
Deuce Vaughn?
Yeah.
Did they sign it?
I don't like any of those.
Well, don't worry, because they're going to sling it around. Former Cowboy Sean Lee is 38.
Who am I thinking of, Blake?
Nickname?
What was it?
Snake Lee?
Snake.
Oh, okay.
Keyshawn Johnson, former Cowboy, is 52.
Yeah. Yeah.
Recently heard a lot from him on that interview with Malik Hooker, right?
Former star Sergei Zubov is 54. My favorite non-Mike Modano Dallas Star of the Cup team.
Because of your interactions with him?
Yeah, I liked him. And actually, I liked it before that. I just thought he was awesome.
Okay.
He could play 1,000,000 minutes. They said he was stronger than anyone on the ice. Never worked out. Smoked a cigarette in every break. Every period break, whatever. He was just awesome.
Yeah, they signed Ronald Jones last year, and then I knew he didn't play, but I didn't know they had already cut him like before the season even started.
Oh, that was last year?
Yeah.
Jason Robertson is 25.
So who's the guy this year?
They don't have one.
Tim
Robo.
Brown is 58.
Very nice in my interactions with him.
Oddly enough, never a Cowboy. I always felt like he'd be a Cowboy at some point. Today's War Games winner with 56.4, Dave Steeb is 67. Never heard of him?
No.
Big Blue Jays pitcher. Mike Sweeney is 51. So once when we had Gabe Kapler on the weekly show, apparently he was friends with Mike Sweeney. Or maybe he had a bit going with one of his other teammates, like Frank Catalanato or somebody. Anyway, he was asking us about Mike Sweeney, if we liked Mike Sweeney. He'd be like, yeah, I don't know. And he'd laugh. And he'd be like, do you think Mike Sweeney's kind of big? Like, I don't know. What are you saying here?
Definite baseball locker room humor.
It's because of Mike's weenie.
Dang, I wasn't putting that together.
He did it to us for like 5 minutes. And we're like, what? I don't know. Yeah, Mike Sweeney. Yeah, he's good. You think Mike Sweeney looks good? Yeah. Gay.
Okay. And he's the assistant GM of the Marlins now? What's he got going on?
You ever see the veins bulging out of Mike Sweeney?
I don't think he did that.
Actor Terrence Stamp is 86. He is Zod, who you must kneel before. Kay Bailey Hutchinson is 81. Danny Glover is 78.
How old was he in Lethal Weapon?
He must have been like 30. But he was retiring.
Yeah, he's so old.
Yeah, he was like late 30s.
S.E. Hinton is 76. The author. David Spade is 60.
So in Angels in the Outfield, like, I swear he was playing like a 50-year-old,
Yeah.
but he was in his 30s.
The grizzled manager.
Yeah.
And Selena Gomez is 32.
I think she's from here.
So hot.
She is.
Born in Grand Prairie. Born on this day, now dead, Emma Lazarus. Who's that, Blake?
I don't know.
First, I'll tell you she's a famous poet. She has a famous poem.
All right.
In a very important spot in the United States.
What does that mean?
Her poem is on the base of the Statue of Liberty.
Oh.
And Alex Trebek. Born on this day, now dead. Remember when Aaron Rodgers was like almost going to take that job?
Absolutely insane.
And now, how many millions of miles away is he from that? Like, he'd never get that job now.
Yeah,
just
now
based on who he is.
Now he's RFK's VP.
Yeah. Dead on this day, still dead in 1633. Tringy, maybe that's how you pronounce it, Keever. They say the tallest woman ever was 8 feet 4 inches tall.
Now, she could have...
Would she have been on the Olympic
stopped
team?
Bronny at the rim. Yeah.
Died at the age of 17.
Uh-huh.
So maybe that disease where your pituitary gland doesn't have any cork on it, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Just
but
keeps
didn't
growing.
the guy who was like one of the tallest ever, didn't he? He made it much later than that, right?
I think later than 17, but I don't know that he was that old. You don't want to be too tall or too short.
No, there's no doubt. I mean, I think...
Do you see 80-year-old 7-footers?
No. That almost never happens. I'd be interested to find out what the oldest one was. And conversely, not a lot of 8-year-old 1-foot-5ers.
Yeah.
Although, that sounds funny.
And you would think, yeah, that would last longer. Also, died on this day in 1992, Wayne McLaren. He is the actor who played the Marlboro Man. He died of lung cancer. Life imitated art. Died on this day in 2003, Uday and Qusay Hussein. In 2008, Estelle Getty. She was the mom on the Golden Girls, although I don't think she was even the oldest one there.
No. I remember being shocked by that.
And on this day in 2011, Tony Sparano. Not Soprano.
I believe he authored one of my favorite football bits of all time. When he was he the head coach or was he the interim head coach of the Raiders? Do you have any info there? Of course it autocorrects to Tony Soprano. That's gotta suck.
That sounds right.
So when he was there, all-time great coach bit. I remember this being filmed. He had the team go out to practice, and of course, I don't know if you've ever heard, but the old Raiders practice field was like terrible, the dirt and stuff. And he had shovels, and maybe a dozen or 2 dozen guys on the team took the shovels and buried the previous schedule up to that point.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, they had something like that at Clemson.
Really?
Where like they buried a football of a bad game or something. Like, yes, it's all performative and cheesy, and you never really hear about it unless it like works.
Yeah, I mean,
like remember Parcells' bit? One game they had a big game, but it was after the Cowboys had been like they turned the corner and they're a good team and they beat a good team or something.
Oh yeah, the cheese.
Yes, he put cheese on everybody's stall in their locker room, and it was like I didn't want them to take the cheese.
Like, is there any
Eat
doubt
the cheese.
that
It's like,
Yeah, it's so
you're
ridiculous.
22. Like what? What is this? Cheese?
Is there any doubt that some insane either basketball or football coach, probably like in the VHS era, has stood in a meeting room and lit a tape on fire? And been like, guys, we're burning this one. And actually gassed it.
I think that's how then they accidentally got the flag in there with the
yeah.
with Seattle. What's his name was cheering.
They accidentally got the flag in there.
Well, yeah, because They just carry a flag around there, so.
Yep.
Boy, that was a great bit.
And that was Today in History.
All right, another week down. Another reminder to meet us at Zoli's Pizza Monday in Addison. Come have lunch with us. It'll be our last appearance before we pack up and head west for Cowboys training camp. Again, if you're along our route or you're out in California and want to meet up, hit us up at thedumbzone@gmail.com. Thank you greatly for listening to this. Remember to hit our anniversary show from Thursday. And if you already listened to it, check out our YouTube page where Rachel the intern put together an awesome video recap of year 1 of the Dumb Zone. We'll see you at Zoli's on Monday. We'll talk soon.